That's the best start we've ever had.
Seriously, I have like the world's worst producer ever. You do. I'm just telling you.
Wow. Ghost in the machine tonight.
Just on our end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, it didn't get rolling super chat.
Rolling.
No, it didn't make its way in. No, it was way early. I also did not get
Eric
Eric K's. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, culture.
I'm very excited. We're going to watch Tom lose his mind live.
You have to have a mind to lose. Because a mind is a terrible thing to have, to lose, to have.
Yes.
To think.
The mind is a terrible thing to taste.
Princess
also
Mattress Pack.
That's not what Hannibal said.
No, hey, ask that CNN guy. He ate brain.
Nicole Kidman eats bug brains.
Yeah, oh, we saw that.
Did she make another eating bugs commercial?
Yeah,
There's one making the rounds. I don't know if it's just the old one coming back or not.
Probably the old one.
Thursday night. Woo!
The whole nation is rolled out for the showdown. That must mean it's Thursday night.
Throwdown.
Better be ready for anything that goes down. What can we say? But welcome to the show now. Whole nation just rolled out for the showdown. That must mean it's Thursday night throwdown. Better be ready for anything that goes down. What can we say? But welcome to the show now.
Oh, I can hit this button. Look at it. I make hearts fly. Look at that. You just tap the button.
You can make farts fly?
Hearts. Tox is gone.
Yeah, I know. I just realized I lost my producer. Probably quit out of frustration.
Well, probably because I said, cool.
Nation wants to hear you say, we aren't slaves to the machine. Never be forced down on our knees. Hard and strong all day long, never give it up. Can't walk away cause we ain't had enough. Calling out the giants, laying them down. Forever be defiant to the one that wears a crown. Pixel Nation knows when they hear the sound. That just means a
Thursday night throwdown. Ooh. I felt that one.
I felt it too.
Felt what?
They're spicy, they're tasty, they're tiny. It's Brahma's Spicy Balls. Slip one of Brahma's spicy balls in your mouth and you'll be reaching for bull's milk to put out that fire. Only come in pairs. Do not eat the blue ones. Those are some spicy bull's balls. If you want a meat that will fill your mouth, grab Brahma's Bull's Balls. Available in your local dairy aisle and back alley somewhere.
Serious, grab him. He doesn't.
What happened?
Penis.
I have no
Entertainment
idea.
that always rises to the occasion.
The one thing we don't do on Thursday Night Throwdown is screw around.
No, we don't.
By the way, have you guys seen Toxic Man Flu naked in the shower? It's like really disgusting. Like somebody vomited in a blender. Like every time I see him, I want to shave my eyeballs with a razor. We are literally the same height.
No, I'm definitely taller, comics.
We got your back, Comics. You okay back there, Nick?
Bravo to TNT Command. Target is live. That's a confirmed hit. Target is down.
Oh, I get the helicopter because I'm the fat kid. That's bull. You, Kurtzman!
I don't have any hands and feet, Comics. I can't fly a plane.
You are surprisingly good looking.
Indeed, Brahma.
It's Thursday night Throwdown!
Well, today has definitely been a very interesting day. As I walked out of the movie theater, I get to see Kotaku burn to the ground in real time. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like,
What's a Kotaku?
Oh, look at that.
I don't know, but I think it's the same thing as Acolyte. Acolyte. Sorry, that was misspelling from Sander there. Sorry. I deeply apologize.
What is
for
a
making that mistake.
Kotaku? It is a large toilet. That's what it is.
I think that's true.
Where a bad opinions go and just kind of linger in the toilet.
I really don't know what a Kotaku is.
Yeah.
Is it like a taco?
No. It is a website.
Or yeah, won't be for long though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just here for Ghostbusters.
Judicat!
Sorry, Sander. But that is common.
Before we jump into it, we do have quite a few super chats to get. Unfortunately, some of them did not get vacuumed into EV Mucks, so I'm just gonna go and read them. Roll the Wretched for $10. 2 months as a member, also, by the way. So seeing the Acolyte remind me that Leslie Headland didn't lose the genetic lottery. She was completely left out of it. She's part
Right.
Hey,
Dave Attell's unfuckables. Jesus. Yeah. Seriously. She is not an attractive woman. Just throwing that out there.
That's not very kind.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, but it's not very kind.
We also have one from Eric K for $1.99. It says they may be dicks, but they are our dicks. Yeah. And now I think I can actually pull the rest of them up here. Here we go. Peanut Shades Helicopter Tours for $2. Says LOL. It's not the end. It's ST-Foo. I'm always abbreviating because I'm retarded. Anyway, and make game guides. Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen to Kotaku. Oh shit, I didn't fucking highlight it. There we go. TGV Monster says for $5, George Lucas supporting Disney. Star Wars is definitely dead now. The only thing left is memes and mocking it. 100%. It was pretty funny. I got a rather enjoyable comment on my last video. Basically, how somebody said they hate individuals like me. Even though they agreed with me in the fact that the sequel trilogy was garbage, they obviously completely missed the point I was trying to make. And that's fine. This is the reality. But it was a rather entertaining comment, and I had a rather entertaining response to that comment. Nick, for $4.99, says, happy to support the most progressive panel on YouTube with an all gay, all retarded cast. Bravo. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
We are nothing if not stunning and brave.
Stunning,
not stunning
and retarded. Anyway, here's the rest of the
we
panel.
are brave-tarded.
Speaking
as culture stuffs his face.
What's he eating? What are you eating?
Dick. He's eating dick.
Is that
spotted dick?
Oh my god, the cock. Oh
my god,
the cock. Oh my god, the cock.
Or is it chicken?
Monkey brains?
Then he's eating cock.
He's eating. What did he do? You know what? I'm just going to say that.
Oh my god.
Indeed.
Where's the cock?
And there goes half the audience.
Yeah. And half the panel.
Never go full Braveheart. That's good.
Yeah, I want to say this. Jim V's 60th birthday was yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
And you know what
birthday.
we got you for
Whose
your birthday?
was yesterday?
Us not singing.
Jim V 833
In the chat?
in the chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
forget
sorry.
that singing
Sorry.
I
part.
never would have
Miller.
put that up there if Father Miller's had been in the chat. I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm here.
Oh,
There he is.
hey,
Oh, wait.
It's Bat Tom.
Is that
What?
Bad Tom?
It is.
Bat Tom.
How's everybody doing? I heard it was somebody's birthday. You
Yes.
know, life goes by so fast, kid. 1 minute you're on the teeter-totter. The next minute you're chasing a girl. The next minute you're chasing the Joker and you're punching him in the face repeatedly until he bleeds all over the place. And then, wait, what? Oh, yeah. Anyway,
and then he files a
happy.
lawsuit.
Yeah, you just toss him in Arkham for a while till he escapes. That's all.
Oh, okay.
He gets over it. So I just want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to who was it? Okay, you didn't come fast enough. Happy birthday to you. I'm out. Where's my $20?
Thank you.
You
check
can
your
see
PayPal.
culture for the $20.
Check your PayPal.
That's right.
Hit him up in Vegas.
Check your PayPal.
Indeed.
Hmm?
Yeah. So I believe everybody here actually saw the movie for a change.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw
I
it with
saw
Mrs. Flu. Saw it tonight.
Saw it with my daughter.
Okay. We're doing that. Okay.
All right.
I have a new sound effect.
A nude? Nude?
Yes, nude sound effect. There's some starred comments in there that are kind of cool. Might want to get to some of those there.
How does a nude sound effect work?
So it's called The Casino. And here we go.
Oh my.
There you go. That's the casino event, ladies and gentlemen. I have
Okay.
launched it. Well, he launched it. So
All right, so get in the comments real quick. MP Meter Man says, I literally had to search for this. YouTube wasn't showing it on the live tab
Oh.
as upcoming. Yeah, good figure. Yeah,
That's no bueno.
pretty sure they
that's not good.
are doing bad things to my channel, as always. Anyway, Randall Orser, fucking YouTube won't even let you use fuck in a super chat. I know, it's kind of stupid.
There's a lot of things you can't put in
Yep.
super chats.
Also, Legalized Adulthood gifted 20 memberships. Thank you,
Wow.
Legalized Adulthood.
Cheers.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. No, I
That was
think,
great.
I think you made too light of a comment on that. We need to celebrate that. Do we have
We'll
a
celebrate him.
Yeah, do we have a
Legalized
celebration?
Count them,
Adulthood.
20 memberships. I want to say, I was almost going to say super chats, but
20, 20,
Memberships.
20.
20, 20,
Do we have a
20.
clip?
2020.
I feel like we need a clip. Is there a
We
clip?
need a clip. Yes, we do.
We need a clip. We do need a clip. I'm trying to figure out which clip is Legalized Adulthood's clip.
Mm,
Because I already showed Sexy Culture.
yeah, we don't need to see that again.
We don't need to see that again.
How about the Dukes of Hazzard one?
That's
good.
always fun. I like that one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. God, that is never not funny.
I know.
I know 2 people died and I'm
I
going
know.
to hell, but
Still fucking hilarious.
it is what it is.
Hey, you know what? All I gotta
What?
say,
I've got
is-
another sound effect. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I use that one quite a bit. In videos, that is. I hope if I die horribly, I hope it's memeable. That's all I have to say. Legalized Adulthood gifted nothing. It's just a comment. Sorry. Kotaku's Japanese for I don't know how to make an honest living. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
No. He also said I need to get his clip is "Bitches Leave" from RoboCop, so I need. To get that.
Oh, we definitely need to get that. Yeah. All right. Before we talk about Kotaku burning to the ground, I know that Tom, you are here for Ghostbusters, and we will get to that after the super chat from Randall real quick. So he says for 2.79 Canadian, let's try this Fubuck.
The B is silent.
Yes,
The B is silent.
but
Silent.
Fubuck sounds funnier.
Fubuck. That's right. Comics division wants to Fubuck you. Yes.
No.
That sounds good. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
Canadian.
So how bad was Ghostbusters?
Well, do you want to like just throw it out there and nothing happen, or do we want to kind of
Start
go
with
around the room and
non-spoilers.
do something?
Okay. I'm kind of fine with the let's go around the room, folks, and talk about our thoughts. We can start with. I think the person who's going to like it the most is Tom. We can start with Tom. Hi, Tom.
Well, I mean,
He's gonna like
we're
it.
going spoiler free, right?
Yeah,
for,
this
for
is
now.
for now.
kinda-
For now.
Well, I have pluses and minuses. I thought overall it was a good film. I think most people are going to enjoy it. The hardcore Ghostbuster fans are going to like it the most. I mean, to answer kind of like the upfront questions, I don't think it's woke. I thought being that it's under 2 hours long or right around 2 hours long, that was nice that I didn't have to piss in the middle of the movie. So I didn't miss anything. I overall like some really funny bits here and there. Some stuff I didn't like. I thought Paul Rudd, Dan Aykroyd probably shined the most in the film overall.
Mhm.
A lot of ghost busting in it. I mean, probably more ghost busting in this movie than any other Ghostbuster movie we've ever seen before.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I guess could be either seen as a complaint or a positive, depending on how you feel about it. This felt more like an episode of the real Ghostbusters than it did a Ghostbusters movie, per se.
I'd agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
I
felt
would.
more
I
like
would as
that,
well.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, I swear I'm going to go through the episodes. I swear there's an episode not only about the ice thing so much, but just about a certain character that we'll get into if we get into spoilers, that I think there was a very similar character to that in the real Ghostbusters, and that's why I kept getting that feeling. So, yeah.
So I got some super chats I want to get real quick because Six has a rather pointed question for you. Legalize adult hope for $2. Kotaku Chew. Kotaku Chew is when two people eat a taco.
Kotaku Chew. That's
Well, I thought that was the
Kotaku
name
Chew.
of the bad guy from Ghostbusters. I couldn't remember or something
Yeah,
like that, though.
Fucking
Meat in the
remember
middle,
those.
like Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn
Six
it.
for $2 says, Tom, did you see any lesbos in it?
I'm not getting into this.
we heard.
few of
We,
us
we
are.
heard. Yeah, we heard.
A few of us are. Eric K for $5. Tom, I just ordered Ghostbusters Answer the Call extended. Is it worth it and better than the theatrical version?
No.
It's not.
Why
they
would you
actually-
do that?
Did they actually do an extended cut? for that movie?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's like,
Oh my.
oh, you already got punched in the face for 2 hours. Let's do it for 2.5 hours now.
Some people
Instead.
like that. Some people pay extra for that.
Yeah,
You
well,
know, you could double up for another 30 minutes if you play your cards right.
jeez.
I'm gonna say, now we all know that the 2016 Ghostbusters is the best Ghostbusters that was ever made. Ever.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I do like the fan service that was in this film. It was me, Mrs. Flew, and a family with kids, very young kids. And they had fun with the ghosts and they clapped and all that stuff. And they had Ghostbusters sweatshirts. I mean, the kids were really into it and stuff from there. So they were into cartoons and all of that. And there's a point that I think Brahma's going to make that I kind of agree with. Bye, Boosh. Why are you saying bye, Tox? Boosh, what did I do?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
said
know.
that 2016 was a great movie.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. I am
At least
joking.
carry on your joke if you're going.
Joking on that one. So I thought the opening scene did not grab me. And I think I caught a lot of there were a lot of Easter eggs in this. So if we they did not bring in Star Wars, they didn't bring the big three together, and and they didn't do that. In this one, everybody that was alive they brought into it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good. They did try to play to the fans, the people who would like this. The music was there. Some of the places were there. It was back in New York where it belongs.
Yeah.
And the firehouse was there. You're going to see the firehouse. You're going to see the Ecto. You're going to see Winston's Edmore. You're going to see, that's correct, sir, this man has no penis. You're going to see him. All those people, Annie Potts, everything was great.
Yeah, there was two things I really liked about it. I like that Winston played a more prominent role in the movie, and I like the fact that they brought Annie Potts back.
Right.
You know, she was great in the original Ghostbusters. Just kind of like the typical New Yorker receptionist who doesn't give a shit about anything.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly. We got one. I always thought that was fucking funny. Anyway, yeah, the EPA guy, he's the mayor now. That was basically in the trailer. I mean, and there was some
spoiler alert, Mastro Chai. No, Vigo is not in it.
No, Vigo is not in it. I'll get to my thoughts. I'll let the other guys talk first.
I just want to say real quick about Peck being in this. This is one thing that I think at least people who had issues with kids being Ghostbusters in the last film,
Right.
they do address that here.
Yes,
yeah, they do.
I thought that was good.
I thought they did a
it there.
pretty good job with that. There are certain things plot point wise that I'll get into when we start talking about spoilers.
I did like the story of it.
Yeah.
I did like that. Where it came from, the story of the ghost, the background to that kind of stuff. I mean, Ghostbusters is something you can do with it. I could see it being a show that you could do over and over again, kind of like they did with Supernatural.
Yeah.
And
there's just so many stories to come out here and do that and things from there.
Well, and it's kind of set up to keep going, but I'm not so sure the box office is going to.
I don't think that this is going to make money.
There were 4 people in my theater.
Yeah, it was only like 12 people in my theater.
Well,
yeah, there weren't that many.
Mine wasn't full. I went to a 3:45 showing, so I honestly don't expect a lot of people to be there. And I would say it was maybe a little bit larger audience than when I saw Afterlife. But there were people in there. There was a lot of laughs. I got the feeling that people enjoyed it. There was the kids there too, and there was kids that definitely enjoyed it. So it just kind of depends.
See, I'd agree on most of that, except that it's also spring break in many areas of the country. So I would expect that, school-age kids would be going to see the movie, or at least the high schoolers, if they had any interest.
I think they want to go
to
to see Dune. I don't think they got any interest in this.
I mean, the kids that were there in the theater, I said, the mom got up, okay, we got to go to bed, school tomorrow. I'm like, no, they can't go to school. There's too many ghosts. There's too many ghosts out there. And the kids are like, hey, no ghosts. They got to school, ghosts. And the mom's like, shut fuck that old guy, he's shutting up. And I realized I am my father. Yes.
Grandpa dumbass.
Sorry, Tom. I stomped on you for that story.
No, you're fine. I mean, as far as some other positives without getting into spoilers and negatives without getting into spoilers, I mean, there's some really good family messaging in this movie. I wouldn't say like there's anything in it that would be problematic for kids so much. Most kids are going to enjoy this movie. If anything, this leans a little too, and this is where I said with the real Ghostbusters part, right? This feels a lot like Ghostbusters 2, and it was one of my fears was that it would go a little less edgy, a little bit more bright and kiddie. But they do address kids being like, that's what it balances out in that respect. But I mean, I'm curious to see like what the normies think about it, because I already know the Ghostbuster fans are going to eat this up.
Right.
So, because like my buddy who went with me, my best friend since forever, he's probably just as much or bigger Ghostbuster fan than I am, and he fucking loved it. And there was another guy there that was dressed as a Ghostbuster. He clearly loved it. So I think that the hardcore fans are really going to love it, because there's tons of Easter eggs and shit, like you said, Tox.
Right.
And other little things.
I missed some of them.
And the gear porn people are going to fucking love this one.
Oh, yeah.
And there's tons of little nods and callbacks to the real Ghostbusters and the toys without getting into spoilers. So,
well,
I mean, again,
they
it
showed a lot of like commercials from like the 80s that were real commercials of like toys.
Yeah, they played it like the
cereal.
Ghostbusters were popular, but they were popular like, because they were real or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I thought it was good. I mean,
So I thought it was a thoroughly average movie. As a Ghostbusters fan, I didn't all that much care for it. And I took my daughter, who's 15 years old. She didn't really care all that much about it. We both just kind of walked out and said, yeah, that was a movie, and don't see a reason to ever readdress that movie and see it again. It was only 2 hours, but that first hour is a slog. It took forever to get anything set up. So, I mean, I was trying to keep the eyes open for that part. But then it gets going.
Mm-hmm.
The movie feels weird, kind of like Tom was saying, like a real Ghostbusters episode, because of who the movie focuses on. It's a Ghostbusters movie, but there is a very specific focus that they have on in this story. And I thought that almost made it like it's aimed towards tweens as the audience.
Definitely aimed towards tweens, I think.
But then, what I was telling the guys in the back earlier, I mean, yes, most of it is a very family-friendly message, but then they just had overtly sexual things being said. And it wasn't like the old Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters, where if you had little kids, it's going to go straight over their head. I mean, they put it directly on, in the dialogue. So, I mean, yes, Ghostbusters fans will probably be fine.
Can you give me an example? Because I'm trying to think of one.
Well, the one that was probably the least offensive was a Bill Murray line about horny.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that was
that's in all the
preview.
trailers, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was in the trailer. But there were a couple of other scenes where the older kids are talking. I think I didn't take notes because I didn't.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. I don't really remember other than because that's what I'm trying to stretch to remember much sex.
My
talk
15-year-old after the movie said, "Yeah, did you catch all of that?" And I was like, "Yes." So she caught it. But
Right.
I mean, it feels like it was a movie made for tweens that has jokes that are more for adults. But also there was some funny stuff in it. Bill Murray I thought was funny. Aykroyd was great. And Paul Rudd. I mean, Paul Rudd was Paul Rudd. I mean, he did what he does.
He's like Nicolas Cage. He just plays himself in every film.
He gets some really good moments in this one, though.
He
There were some
does,
very
but the
tender
parts
moments.
where
He
he's supposed to
does.
be funny, it was a little bit, hitting the nail a little bit too much on the head with the major funny scene that he was supposed to have. So we'll talk about that later, probably. But yeah, overall, I thought it was average. I mean, I would not go see it again. I've seen it, and that's about where it will stay for me. It's not like the old ones where I watch those yearly.
Right.
So
I'm
70s,
finding
did you
now
catch
that
it?
I am.
I haven't got it yet. No.
Okay.
No, I was just wondering though. Is it a PG?
PG-13.
It's
I
PG
think.
13.
I thought it was PG-13.
Not even quite sure why. It could probably pass for PG.
They probably could.
Like I didn't pick up on any of the worst line I would say is probably the tall, dark, and horny. But even that is just tame compared to nimble little minx and calling Gozer a bitch and shit like that in the first film.
I mean,
and some of the other shit he said and did.
Yeah.
Even the lines he's got with Sigourney Weaver when it's like he's like, take me sub creatures. He's like, oh, it sounds like you got too many people in there already. Might get a little crowded.
Yeah.
As we've discussed.
Yeah, I mean, it's that. I mean, obviously, I thought that line wasn't a big deal. It was like you mentioned, it was in the trailer.
Yeah, not a huge deal, but that was I wish I could remember the other actual lines because, like I said, that was probably the least offensive. The others weren't overtly offensive either. It just was. It was like if you're making it for tweens, why have that in there at all?
Well, and I see that as a problem though, in a sense that because kids are not going to be interested in this movie, right?
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, this movie's made for people like our age and our parents. Like
And
my
the story
parents
wasn't
adored
designed for
the
that,
last
though.
one, and I think my parents will enjoy this one quite a bit.
Right. This was a fan film.
Yeah.
An actual Ghostbuster fan service film. I think.
So if I go see it again, I might drag my folks to it because I did the last one and my dad did not want to go. He went kicking and screaming because he did not care for the second one, and he ended up loving Afterlife.
So
But he's
you
one of
don't-
those
I
where
liked Afterlife too.
my dad is though is one of those where he's like, I don't see why they just can't keep making movies where they just have the kids come in and the kids take over, and he was okay with that with like Star Wars and stuff. It's like, but he thought it'd be like the kids. I'm like, unfortunately they're not. And the only one that's a kid is Kylo Ren. So like to him he's like, oh okay, well that's stupid. But like to him he thought that was brilliant because he's like, well that's what I said they should do all the time, just bring in the kids. And he liked the idea that the kid was the granddaughter of Egon Spangler, and you know, and there is always that thing. And my dad I think he relates to that because there is this thing with granddads and their grandkids, right?
Yeah. Well, and
Like-
I really liked what they did with Afterlife. You know, I like how they kind of established
That
all
is the
that,
better
and
film, obviously.
it
I think we
is
all can agree with that.
100% the better film. And, you know, we'll get to culture and then we'll get to my thoughts. We just have a general discussion about it after that. Culture, take it away. Sorry.
What do you want to know?
Let me know what your thoughts are.
I think it's
Why
more
are you
wholesome.
gay?
I think it's more
Why are you
wholesome
gay?
than the two original films.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
I've been on record saying that. I think there's no way to get around the weird energy. But the film's not woke overall. It doesn't suffer anything but a little bit of modernity here and there.
There's definitely some modernity in it.
Yeah,
and
but
there's a few things in there that I caught. I wouldn't call it woke.
No,
but I would call it modernity.
Yep. Yeah. And again, I mean, it suffers under the weight of some of that, which is the whole reason why there are characters in this film that take up space, which is why the film is longer than it needs to be, which is why some things didn't get fleshed out, which is why, you know, other apertures that they could have pursued weren't. Man, I get the hiccups pretty bad. But it's a good film. It's worth seeing, in my opinion. It's not a masterpiece. My goodness, the hiccups are bad. But overall, everybody's still going to talk about the Twilight moment, Tom, and that's the way it is.
Twilight moment, is that what you're calling it?
He's
All
trying to get me amped up. Yeah,
sparkles.
Well,
so I mean, would you say that for those
Culture
of you who've
avoided the
seen it,
question.
that it's okay, that it's just to be okay? I mean, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece.
All right, I saw the movie at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when it started. It is now 9:34 our time. I have forgotten 3/4 of the film.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to tell you about the film.
Okay, I think it's a dead average film. A score of 1 to 10, I give it a 5. I was talking to Master TDS on Twitter, and he was asking what my thoughts were on certain things, and I was like, it's a 5 out of 10. That's all it is. It's nothing special. I thought it was a halfway decent film. Afterlife is way better, and that's the best way of putting it.
It's not
at the same
just
time,
forgettable.
In my opinion.
There
It's
are some
forgettable.
things in here I liked more than Afterlife, though, too, at the same time. That's the weird thing about it. Like, I want to see it
has
again.
moments, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I was saying earlier without getting into spoilers. Like, there's the most ghost busting in any movie you'll ever see in this movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
And
from
that's-
beginning
that's
to end, it is
pretty
nothing
fun.
but Ghostbusters. Right? Like, if you ever wanted a movie where there was not, because look at the first movie, it's literally 45 minutes before we see them in the costumes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In the second film, and again, it's almost 45 minutes. It's actually a little more than that because it's like 35 to 40 minutes before we have the courtroom scene. And then it's like 5 minutes after that when we finally get to see him actually doing shit. And then it finally cuts right into, and you don't get a lot of ghost busting in part 2.
No,
it's a lot of
you don't.
around it and a lot of Vigo shit.
Yeah.
This one that's the satisfying parts of it. You'll get tons and tons of Ghostbusters. If you're a gearhead, you're going to fucking love it because there's all kinds of stuff in there that nods to the series, to the toys, to the original films. They're all there. I would say that the original cast was utilized better in this film.
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say, it definitely respects the source material, I would say, and it respects the legacy characters.
They
And-
do
and-
actually
and that is
try to
worth
give us some
praising.
more rules too, or
Yeah.
at least an idea of how the rules work. Because this is another time where I finally was like, okay, so there is a difference between an actual spiritual ghost of a person and these other
Right.
kind of entities that they're fighting. See,
These
like there is a
monster-
difference.
Ghost monsters. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I
So,
thought
I mean,
Winston
what-
Zeddemore was great.
Yeah, Winston honestly is probably one of my favorite characters from the series.
Right.
And I like the fact that he had more of a active role in the movie than he has in the previous ones. And it's like the different evolution of the characters, right? Because Ray owns a bookstore. Winston basically made a bunch of money, and he's been like investing into a lot of like ghost busting technology, which is pretty neat. The other thing too, Master TDS asked me, "Is it worth seeing in the theater?" And I'm like, "I'd wait for streaming. I don't think it's worth $15, in my opinion."
I don't agree.
You don't agree? That's fine.
I think there's some special effects that I would want to see in theater. Now that I've seen it in theater, I wouldn't change it. And I'll tell you why. When I got there, they had the popcorn holder that was the ghost trap. I had to have it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
All right,
had.
Mrs. Flu goes, "Do you know how much that is? We're not buying that." And they had the little, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man drink thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the theater, she just screamed, "He's adorable!" Because I'm about to tell a story. And I said, "Well, I was going to get that too." She said, "You're not getting that." Okay, whatever. Because they had the green Slimer icy as well. That's like a caramel apple taste. Very sugary. But, and I don't want to hear it. She's bringing it in here. So we go and we see the film. Come back out to go get something. She's sitting there and I'm like, "What?" She goes, I want the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man thing. So she is yelling at me for going there not to buy it. She just put it on my desk, right? And then comes out and she goes, I want the cute little Stay Puft guy. So he has two faces, yes, and one of them scared you when you realized that he had two faces. So she enjoyed the film, and there were some kids in the theater. Is this film going to make money? I doubt it, but I think it has some really cool accessories at the theater. If you want something like that, and this is not the popcorn thing is not like some flimsy cardboard thing. It's pretty heavy duty. And if you want something like that, you're going to have to go to the theater to get it.
Yeah. We didn't have anything at my theater.
They had like...
Yeah, they fucked us over at our theater too. I was
they did?
pissed.
All right. Well, Tom may have them both.
But it was like a miniature replica of the building. And I'm not sure what it was, if it was like a candy holder or a popcorn holder. Mm-hmm. But there was like various drinks, cups type things they had. I didn't bother. I don't fucking bother with that shit anymore. I really don't. It's like the last time I bought something like that, I want to say it was like one of the Avengers movies. And I was like, yeah, now it just gets used to either get, pour water in the coffee maker or something else. So,
I got the Mario
but yeah,
bucket.
I mean, overall, it was a decent movie. I wasn't overly impressed with it, I guess is the best way of putting it. I mean, there's definitely moments you'll enjoy with the movie, but like you said, Tox, I mean, a lot of it's kind of forgettable. And where I found Phoebe to be very endearing in the first movie, I found her to be more annoying in this one. And I don't know if it's because that she's a teenager now, as compared to more of a kid.
I can see that.
And yeah, the character, I don't know. I mean, I really liked her in the first one. I didn't like her as much in this one. And
I think the bigger problem
of her in this one.
Well, we got to remember she is the focal character now. She was the focal character in the last one too, but I think comics is correct. The other problem here is we have so much shit. That's probably the biggest downsides of the film, flat out, is that there's a good 20 minutes left on the cutting room floor. And I'm not saying you should add that 20 minutes back in either, because a movie should only run about 2 hours in general like this, if not less, if it can, because the first two were only an hour and 45 minutes. That being said, there's shit that was in the trailers that's not even in the movie.
Yeah. Well, that happens all the time, though. That's,
and I feel like, and this is a little spoilery, but I think it's something that nobody will give a shit about. I have a feeling that Patton Oswalt got cut down to the bare fucking minimum.
I was wondering about that.
He is hardly even in the fucking movie.
Yeah, he is definitely one of those moments of modernity in the film because of some of the comments that he makes. And go ahead, Tom.
I was just saying, he scares me because I think him and I think Don and Jami Nami Bami is there for two reasons, and Six and I think it was Six and Price on our show earlier kind of hit on this, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of getting the same gut feeling. They're introducing these certain kind of ancillary characters that can come in and take over in case some of the other guys die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were definitely some unnecessary characters in.
Yeah, because you don't really need Patton Oswalt, but what happens if we lose Dan Aykroyd?
Mm-hmm.
Patton Oswalt will take his fucking place.
Hopefully his vodka will go on. That Crystal Skull vodka is good stuff.
At least they had the decency not to throw another spoiler. At least they had the decency not to throw a fucking costume at him. So you're now part of the Ghostbusters or something like that. At least.
Right.
You could do a Slimer. He could be a Slimer.
Slimer was fun in this
He
one.
could be a Slimer. But
Slimer was good. Yeah. I thought the older brother was good. Comics, I'm going to put a timer on and then say like around 10 o'clock.
I was going to say,
we'll
without saying spoilers, yeah, especially Slimer's last bit was the best.
Yes.
Because I love that other ghost too. That was my second favorite ghost in the film. But yeah.
So, Tom, do you remember the beach scene where the stuff was coming in and there were people on the beach?
Yeah.
And that first
Chopped
couple that they
way
showed.
down.
The first couple that they showed on the beach, the older couple, was that someone who had been in Ghostbusters at some point?
I'd have to go back and check again because I was watching for that too. But
yeah,
that scene went by so quickly in the movie compared to the trailer. I might actually have a better time seeing it in the trailer, to be honest with you, because
right. Yeah, I was kind of is that, but for me, I didn't feel bad leaving the theater. No, seriously.
Is it a good way or a bad way?
No, it didn't treat me like I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't shove stuff down my throat.
Right. For the most part.
And I think some of these things, I actually took a picture of it, put it in Gilded. I'll bring it up here in a second. I thought that the extras were kind of cool. And the theater people were very nice. So when I came out and I'd had the IC, I always get one of those when I go to this because I am a child. And Mrs. Flu wanted to have this little, well, it's not little, it's actually pretty big. It's 20 ounces of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The guy refunded my drink because it comes with a free drink and then charged me for the thing because it's like X amount and you get a free drink. So he didn't have to do that. And that's like $15 for a drink, with tax and everything. So I had a positive experience at the theater. Nice people. It was clean. The people that were there to see it, I say it was a couple with some kids. They laughed at certain parts. They had a good time. It made me laugh in certain parts. It was a little long in certain others. I don't know whether it's in a contract that you have to have a certain amount of screen time for certain stars or whatever. It just, I thought the first Ghostbusters film was well paced. It seemed to me be nonstop. This to this to this to this to this film. This seemed to be this to 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 this. And there was so much. I think they could have fit more ghostbusting into this film.
I think that's part of the problem, Tox, and I think you're hitting some of the nail on the head. And this is me speculating because you're right. The first film, they have the work print cut on that big box set that I have, and it's an hour and 54 minutes. The first cut was so fucking close to what the final cut. That is a rarity, right? Like, so that means literally only 15 minutes got cut out of that movie to get it to where it was, and it was just a lot of tightening up and stuff. Yeah, there's only a handful of spattered deleted scenes in that version compared to what we got. Now, this movie, I think you're right. This movie feels like there's 3 drafts here. There's 3 separate cuts at some point. And this version is a cobbled together cut of the best stuff that tested well. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the original cut of this was closer to 3 hours. There are so many characters, so much going on in this movie. And I mean, that's the biggest problem with it altogether. Because like I said, not to spoil it too much, but you could cut Podcast and Lucky and that
completely from the film,
British kid completely from the film. And not only would you not notice, it would help the movie because you don't need. They almost pull you away from the important shit in the film.
I would kind of argue you need the British kid a little bit.
Maybe, but you could have made him somebody a little bit better. Well, or use him better in the time period than instead of Podcast. Because look, Lucky and Podcast, and this is in the beginning of the film, so it's not even really that spoilerific. They just come up with convoluted reasons for them to be there.
Yeah, they do.
And you can tell Lucky, her shit is almost completely cut out too. Because there's shit in the trailer that she's in that's not in the movie. Like there's like a whole section there that I know is missing. So this isn't even spoilers because it's in all the trailers where she gets frozen. You don't get to see her get frozen in the trailer. Or in the movie, I mean.
You do
You see it start to happen and then you see the aftermath. I think there's a whole section in the middle there where Phoebe has to save her from being frozen. Because if you notice how it cuts, you see her hands start to get frozen, and then we cut to something else. Then we cut back to her, and she's on the floor with a towel around her and trying to help warm her up and dry her off.
Yeah.
See, in the preview, you see her get frozen all the way up her body to her eyeballs, just like Dan Aykroyd said. The last thing you see is your tear ducts freeze.
Tear ducts freeze.
So I think she got completely frozen, and she knew she had to unfreeze her or she was going to fucking die. So there's I think there's a whole section there that's cut out. So that's what I'm saying. This whole movie feels like that. Like there's bits and pieces of 5-10 minute bits completely shoved out of the way so they could get what they could in here. And it's just the stuff that tested the best, probably. And I mean, there's like that
quick,
other shit that you guys want to talk about too, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I need to get the super chats real quick. So let me get these. Peter says helicopter tours for $2. Tom sounds down like I did after The Last Jedi.
No.
Bait and switch. I wouldn't
No,
say
my
it's a
issue
bait
right
and
now
switch.
is something that people are keying in on. I wish they weren't, because I have other issues with this movie, and like that to me is like
it's a thing. It is a fucking thing.
But to me, it's it's something I don't think we should be focusing on so much. But yeah.
Okay, Eric K for $2. Did they capture Egon Spengler in this one? Capture?
No. He went to the other side.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to. Are you talking about with
his spirit?
Like the girl being like the capture that?
No, his ghost.
No, I think he was making a joke about did they get his ghost.
Oh,
they do mention specifically what happened to him.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that plays into the role into the movie.
Yeah, but it is specifically mentioned exactly what happened to him.
Yes,
and I did remember one of the other adult scenes. Tom, we'll go over it when we get the spoilers.
Well, hang on, let me get through these. Nick the Geek for $4.99 says, thoughts on Alien Romulus trailer. I'm really doubtful following Prometheus and Covenant garbage. I mean, the trailer looks all right. I mean, it looks kind of alienish.
I'm very positive about Romulus. So
I mean, it honestly, out of all the other ones I've seen trailer wise, I like this trailer the most. Like, what was the other one? Covenant? Like,
horrible fucking film.
Horrible. I mean, I didn't watch it. I thought the trailer was pretty mediocre. This looks like a proper Aliens movie. That's my thought. The one thing that they keep doing is the female lead, and at this point, it would be nice if they changed it up and actually had a male lead for a change. Just throwing that out there. But it's Aliens, so whatever. Eric K for $2 says, did the panel order the Ghostbusters underoos? No, not me. Maybe Tox.
They don't come in my size, fat ass.
No, they didn't. I didn't get those. They're not very comfortable.
Okay. We are now caught up on super chats. You guys can resume the conversation.
Tom's gay.
Tom is not.
Of course. What was the one thing that you were going to ask Culture to talk about?
Who?
Oh, you mean the moment where I was like, weird. It was a weird energy between Phoebe. Oh wait, are we on spoilers?
No.
Not yet.
Well then I can't talk about it.
Well, it's kind of funny because low rent dad kind of says something about it.
Well, it's been mentioned a few times in the chat just to get Tom to get fired up.
Yeah, and I don't want to rag on Tom with this one.
I'm not ragging on him. I'm
not ragging on Tom, but
oh wow, this popcorn thing is on wheels.
Huh?
You got the trap? Yeah.
Yeah, I got the trap.
I want one.
No, I did not get the clap.
You got the crap.
You've got that already.
I
You had
got
that
the
already.
No,
So-
the trap means he
Wait,
got
are you
trapped
fucking
by a
serious that
trans.
Rogan is starring in the next Alien
Oh
film.
God,
Oh
no!
Lord.
Is he the alien?
Yes.
He's
God,
going to have an alien bursting out of his chest within 30 seconds of the movie.
He is
Great.
so good in Green Hornet. Yeah, I got the Green Hornet I wanted with Seth Rogen.
That was still the weirdest casting ever. I know that
That
it
was
wasn't.
awful.
Yeah.
That was a horrible
actually-
thing.
Tom, it's not really a spoiler, so I can bring that up right now. My daughter mentioned, because she was the one who remembered exactly what it was. There was a ton of talk about a sex dungeon. Grandma's sex
yes,
dungeon.
you're right.
That was
I
pretty
found that
damn
kind of
overt.
funny though.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. That
Yeah,
made me
but
laugh. You're right.
it's a tween
You are
movie. That
right.
was pretty
You are
overt.
right.
That wasn't over the top. There
is-
was no
yeah.
subtlety to it.
Yeah, but
It
we've talked
is,
about
yeah.
this before, Tom. We talked about it on Nick's show that the original Ghostbusters wasn't really meant to be a family film.
No. Yeah. And on that
So-
level, like it's still, I wouldn't put it as bad as all the stuff that's in the first film, but I can see what. Yeah, you are correct. I will concede on that one.
So
I have
maybe
a
that's
story
they're
about
still
the
aiming
first,
to go a little.
And the only
more
reason
adult.
it probably is a little more taboo is you have like the teenage characters in that scene bringing it up. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, so
probably
they're
that's
talking
different,
about
yeah.
chains
Yeah.
and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay,
your
we got a
grandma
few
had a
minutes
BDSM
before
dungeon. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gonna show off your
Well, I'll show that. So in the
popcorn
first
bucket?
film, when I went to go see it the first time, my mother, my father, my sister, and I went. And my parents are conservative Christian. We go to the film. We're watching it. The ghosts are there, all that stuff. My sister's a little young. My mom's a little had a little trepidation about this. When he bends down to the librarian, this old librarian says, "Are you menstruating?" My mom took my sister, got up, and we were out of the theater
Mm.
the first time. So I had to, and that was when I had to go see it with my dad, right? There was way more in the first film than there was in this one, in my opinion, that I
Right.
caught. But I also was not 13 years old.
Right.
I'm 14 when I saw it. So, but yeah, I will show this. This is the
Popcorn bucket.
popcorn bucket, and it is on wheels, and it rolls around. And it's,
Oh, I didn't know it had the ghost symbol in the purple part. That's cool.
Yeah, it had that there, and that's where the popcorn and stuff
Wait,
sits
wait,
in
wait.
it. So,
That's like from the 80s?
no, this is
No,
what
that's
I got
brand new.
tonight.
That's
This
the one you
movie.
get now.
No.
Okay, it's brand new.
Yeah, they
Alright.
do a good job of making them look like if you catch the right ones. Yeah.
So what was that about 14 inches wide or what's the
Oh my
It's the
god!
size of the regular trap. Yeah.
It has a battery compartment.
wow.
Oh shit! I gotta go get a
So it
battery
lights
now.
up.
Yeah, it does the whole thing. Yeah.
Maybe it's the real thing.
How much
It
that
does
thing
track-
set you back, Tox?
It should actually have batteries in it already, Tox. There's that little black button right to the right there that's above. I bet you that's what you push to get it to activate. That or the switch
He's
itself.
going, I think, to get some.
I think he
Yeah.
did. God.
Yeah.
I would say
That's-
because I have the car from last year. It had batteries in it already.
I have to say, it's
Yeah, for what
pretty
they charge,
impressive.
you would think it would come
Yeah.
with batteries.
Mine, it has it to where the siren doesn't go off, but the lights spin.
How much is it? How
They
much
usually
did-
go for like $30, but then they charge you for the popcorn too. So altogether, it's like 60 bucks
then.
or something like that. Yeah,
these days.
I'm not even kidding. Because for me to get this sucker altogether was like, well, I think that was with the soda and everything. It was like 50 some bucks.
Yeah, so
all
if you've
said
got
and
4
done.
kids, don't take them because you're gonna.
Well, no,
like-
yeah, it's clearly one of those things if you're gonna do it. But yeah, no, it
Yeah.
So much like comics, the knobs turn on the thing.
that's
But what
not the
it
kind
does-
of toy we're talking about. 6.
Oh, sorry. It lights up. So the
I
bucket,
told you it did,
lights
but you
up.
weren't listening because you took off. It probably has batteries in it already, but you didn't.
Yeah, it
hear
has batteries. I undid those, and it
Yeah.
lights up.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
that's pretty
And the
spiffy.
knobs
It's
work.
pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, TZ Burton over on the Rumble side for $5. Not to go check. He says Ghostbusters 2016 would have been better if the women were in the kitchen making sandwiches for the
Jesus.
Yes.
You know, my problem with that movie wasn't even so much the movie itself, the girls being in it. It was the original Ghostbusters being in it and being cucked out in their own movie. When you have Bill Murray flying out of a window to his death and they're like, oh, he ain't no Ghostbuster material and shit like that. When they literally had to go back and reshoot scenes to fucking take shots at the audience, right? That YouTube scene where they're going through the comments and like, you're never supposed to read the comments. And they're like, ain't no bitches can bust ghosts. What? That's the kind of shit. To me, that was the bigger problems with that movie than
Well, the
anything.
funny thing about it, when was the Angry Gamer? Is that the guy who's
Yeah.
went
Well, that's what I'm
viral?
saying. It was all
He
leading
didn't
up to
fucking-
that.
He didn't fucking say any of that shit. He just said that he didn't like the trailer.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just saying, because them actually saying something to us through the movie is just so low fucking, low ball shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. It was geared at guys like him because we were refusing to go see it or we were talking shit about the trailer or whatever. But I went there opening day to try and see it with an open mind. Fuckers got my money.
I didn't see it. I didn't bother.
I saw
yeah,
the
that's right.
film.
The Angry
Never
Video
seen it.
Gamer.
Derail that for you.
No, it's
all right.
It's fine. Are you guys ready to talk some spoilers about this?
I think
movie?
so. Let me see.
I think we've said what we can without them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to edit this because it's no longer Dune
I couldn't believe
spoilers.
Thanos showed up.
Yeah. That wasn't Thanos. That was
Played
Manos.
by it was Kang.
Oh,
showed up, did he?
Manos.
Did Kang
Manos.
show
I
up?
was kind of confused because I
Dang.
thought from the trailers and the way the bad guy looked that it was a chick. Oh no, it's a dude. I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, hence the name Manos.
Man.
Yeah, well, maybe it's Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda Hug and Kiss.
I was gonna say maybe there's your wokeness. Maybe the ghost was trans, but they
Yeah.
were already trying to joke with that already in the last one with Gozer. So yeah.
There we go. So I have the spoilers up, and I am going to remove. I think so. The light, it does light up as Tom said. All the stuff in there. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I want one, man.
The one thing for me, and I know quite a few of this noticed this, that comes off as modernity, because they have a few of these scenes where Phoebe meets this female ghost, and I thought they're gonna go, oh okay, this is cool. They're gonna do something where it's like, because she's awkward and nerdy, she actually finds a friend that's not a human and it's a ghost, and no, it's kind of comes off as queer coding. And I asked several people this. I know Tom's gonna disagree, dude. It's fucking there, man. It is fucking there. Literally everybody that's seen the movie I've asked, there's like, oh yeah, it's totally a fucking thing.
My daughter.
Hey,
absolutely.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me, right? But there's tons of people that are saying the exact same thing.
Well, in my defense, and this is where I'm coming from, I'm not saying that people aren't seeing it, but I'm also not saying we're not also seeing a lot of fucking ghosts because we're so used to it. Now, if they come out later and say that that's totally implied, I will say, all right, you guys are correct.
It's very implied. They really don't act on it, but there's definitely times where it's like,
I'm not so sure. I didn't, because here's what I'm saying. In my defense, coming out of the theater, my buddy, he had his friend and his friend's girlfriend went with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I heard it brought up. He said, oh, I don't know what the hell everybody was talking about. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, people were saying something about lesbians in the movie.
Yeah.
Online. And I said, what do you mean? And he said something about it. And then it clicked with me. And I'm like, oh shit. And I could see it. As soon as I got home here, that's what everybody was fucking talking about. And I'm like, that's exactly what the fucking shippers do though. They see the gay coding, right? So are we doing that because of that now? I hope I hope I'm right and you guys are all wrong. But I'm not saying it's not there, but if it was there, it was fucking cut, and I'm glad. Because the way I got it, the way it comes off in the film for me at first until it was brought up to me, was I swear there was already a real Ghostbusters episode where there was like a little girl ghost that had a similar kind of relationship with one of the characters in the show. And that kind of was where I was clicking with, that was where my brain went. I did not see the relationship thing. And she kept talking about what it was like to be a ghost. She even has that conversation with Ray. So to me, she was just more, to me, I was seeing it more as, yes, she had a friend now, somebody she could relate to and talk to or whatever, because she was feeling lonely and left out because she got booted from being a Ghostbuster because of her age. And she was bitching because she's like, 3 years is not long for you guys because you're old, but that's an eternity for a teenager like me. And the first thing she does is meet a ghost who's forever a fucking teenager.
Right.
So that's where I was seeing it from.
Well,
I know the scene you guys are talking about now in hindsight, I guess I can see it, but I don't see it as much as you guys do. And I don't want to jump on it like you guys. And I think it's too much of a conversation for such a small part of the film that isn't even really there. And I don't want to go gay coding, fucking shipping people if it's not really there, because then we're doing just the same shit they are. That's all I'm saying.
So I want to say that using you guys in this, think here, I agree with Tom.
Oh my God.
No, wait. I didn't see it. I wasn't going in looking for it.
No, I was.
No, wait. I'm not done.
I wasn't looking for it.
Mrs. Flew, who's sitting next to me, nudged me and says, da-da-da-da-da-da. She saw it.
Valiant.
Told me about it. And then I saw it.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't expecting it out of this film. I was expecting a humorous film. So I didn't see it.
I bet you Valiant saw it.
Others did, and that's fine. That's fine. But I just want to say, Tom, I am on your side with this in that I didn't see it. and someone else had to tell me.
So I saw it with my daughter, as I said.
Right.
She's 15. When we got to the car, we were going
same
through
age as Phoebe in the film, by the way.
Yeah, we were going through just different parts of the movie. I was
And
asking
I
her
could
what
actually
she
accept
thought.
her being gay, though. That's the thing. She comes off as half lesbian anyway. But yeah, sorry.
And I had noticed it during the movie, and apparently she did too, because she asked me, "So do you think they were gay?" So the 15-year-old picked it up, and she hates everything that we do on YouTube. She thinks we're a bunch of crusty old men who have, no sense of anything modern. So she saw it and asked me.
Funny.
No, Brahma, that's not true. I watched a movie with lesbians in it only the other day.
Debbie
porn
does
doesn't
Dallas.
count.
Porn does not count.
Would you
I'm
please tell
with
your
it.
daughter to get off my lawn? Thanks.
Well, I mean, like I said, if they come out in an interview and they say something, or we get some deleted scenes that allude to it more, that could be. I also wonder if there's not more of it that's left on the cutting room floor for context that we're missing too.
Oh yeah, the kiss. That's the thing they cut
Well,
out. was the
there's
kiss.
a thing where she definitely leans in when she
Yes.
becomes a ghost.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that's where she gets betrayed by the ghost girl. And yeah, it's one of those things that I wasn't looking for it, but as soon as when she encounters the ghost, she goes to the park to go play chess, which again I find kind of odd because it's the middle of the night and she's a 15-year-old kid and this is New York City. But okay, whatever.
It's because she knows where to find Ghost, obviously.
Indeed. So she goes to play chess by herself, and then the chess pieces start moving. At
How many
first, I
people have
thought
been
they were
killed in
gonna.
that park?
I thought they were gonna introduce Egon again. And I was like, oh,
No,
cool.
he
she's-
dissipated. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I did think about that, but then they introduced the female ghost, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. She's kind of like a weird kid, so she finds a friend in this ghost, and right after that, I'm like, oh, fucking don't do this shit. I mean, they didn't outright do it, but yeah, there was stuff there, guys. It's fucking there.
I was full on waiting for her to basically just say, "Well, we can be together. Just possess me. We'll be one."
Well, the thing that was weird with me is because I kind of called it up front, because when you said that about being Egon, I knew Egon was gone. And I'm like, oh, is she going to think it's Egon and it's actually
somebody else? Yeah.
The other ghost pretending to be Egon. And that's where I first got. So, like, I already kind of had it set up in my head that she might be setting her up anyway. And that's the thing, too. And I know some people are also saying, well, the thing is I guess I didn't metaphysically think there's any possible way that they could have any kind of relationship, because neither one of them wanted that, right? It's not like they were actually even signifying that, because Melody's whole thing is she wanted to go to the other side.
Yeah.
Right. And she doesn't know how, but Phoebe tells her, I know how, because you just have to find out whatever it is that your unfinished business is, like my grandfather did. Right. So there's that aspect of it. And then she keeps talking about what it's like to be a ghost and all that kind of stuff. So there is other things set up there, but I didn't see the part where she was like dying for some kind of like relationship either. It was just so much at that point that she just found it she was just interested because she was a ghost and she wants to study ghosts.
Well, and
but then she started becoming
ghost style.
friendly with the ghost, right? Like that was where she had the hesitance when she was supposed to bust her, and she's like, oh shit, and then she doesn't shoot right away, right? Because she realizes that Melody is the ghost they were called in to bust.
Right.
Like that was the thing where it's like, okay, so like I know where you guys are talking with the lean in, I guess, but I guess I didn't see where they were going with a kiss there. I don't know. I wasn't sure what the hell. I mean, I know what she had to do though, because I was already thinking of the plot. Because we already knew that Melody was going to turn on her at some point, and they needed a human, and that's what she kept saying. Why her? Because you could tell Melody was actually becoming friendly or liking her too. That was the whole point. Is she picked her from the start because she knew she was a Ghostbuster, probably.
Right.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Well, that's definitely totally the case.
No,
with her
Cord.
character.
They did not make Pottery liking Ghost.
No, they did not. That's funny. Well, I mean, you are correct, but the reason why she wanted to go and separate from her body, though temporary, didn't make any sense. To me, it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere.
Well, it was because I get what you're saying, because to me it was more so because she kept asking, she was curious about what it was like to be a ghost, and then she has the conversation with Dan Aykroyd where he's like, oh yeah, I would wonder what it would be like, what it felt like if I were, how I would actually, manifest? Would I be this kind of, da 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 da? And so she's already thinking on that, like, because she asked the question when she because for setup, guys, for those who haven't actually seen the movie, they go to this ghost core place where they have all these new stuff that they're testing out with the ghosts and stuff that Winston had set up at his facility. And they actually have this machine that can separate an entity from a cursed object.
Item.
Yeah.
Object.
And this is where I finally like it, because they kind of explain in a weird way that there is a difference between an actual ghost spirit of a person and a haunted object. And what they're doing is they pull that haunted ghost out of that object. So that would make sense. Like, Slimer isn't actually a ghost of a person. He is a manifestation of something bad that happened in that fucking restaurant at some point, or the hotel.
Well, and that, like,
what I mean?
A lot of the stuff with, with Winston's setup, I really enjoyed. I thought that stuff was really neat. Because like one of the issues that they're kind of running into is that the original containment setup for Ghost is basically full. And so,
but anyway, but to finish my point real quick though, is she thinks and asks the question, can you pull an actual spirit out of a person and put it back in? Because that was what she does later on. But anyway, to say what you're saying about the containment unit being full, because that's the whole setup for all this.
Yeah. I mean, and that I thought was pretty cool, because they're like, have we thought about building another one? And Winston's like, yes, we have. As a matter of fact, we've already done it. And that, I mean, all that stuff was great, because I love like how all of his gears like top notch, and they're still using like the older stuff, and that stuff was rather.
Well, and it gives them a reason to get it taken away too. So I mean, there's some elements there, but like people who are fans, like the Ghostbuster fans, are going to notice this movie pays a lot of homage to Part 2. I picked up the boombox. I picked up the slime thrower. I was surprised they didn't have the fucking painting of Vigo in the background at some point, because there's so much shit. They had the mood slime. They had, because a lot of people who asked, "Oh, is this in the same universe as Ghostbusters 2 even canon?" Yes, it's fucking canon, guys.
Yeah,
it was already canon, but it is definitely canon now.
Yeah. So, I mean, stuff like that was pretty cool.
The librarian ghost.
Yeah, you had a call back to the librarian ghost, which I didn't feel they really need to have that. I mean, there's a few things that I felt they didn't need to have, which were kind of like callbacks to the original. I would say sometimes there's a little too much fan service.
There was a little, you didn't even need the library scene, really.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to complain about certain things like that. It's like, fan service. Fan service is usually good. In small doses. They did add a lot of fan service. Like I said, at times it came off as a little over the top. But I'd rather have more fan service than trying to piss the fans off, right?
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, that the stuff with Patton Oswalt, he makes a colonialism comment about what happens at the very beginning of the film, and really the whole thing with Phoebe and the ghost, and then Patton Oswalt are the only two things that come off as modernity in the film.
Yep.
Granted, you get a little bit more with the ghost, because it's like the way she looks at her, she's like giving her eyes and whatnot. It's something I kind of picked up on.
And Price and I touched on one of the reasons why this may be a problem, and maybe why I'm more right in this. And I'm not trying to make a case for myself right now, but what I'm saying is this: he picked up on that the actress playing the role might be part of the problem. And this is something I've noticed in a lot of period piece films, that modern actresses cannot play classic females. They just can't. Mm-hmm. So they never even tell us how long Melody's been dead.
Yeah.
Like basically the way it's set up is you kind of assume that she burnt down the building that now where the diner stands. Right. So like, how long ago did this fucking happen? Exactly. And if the clothes that she's wearing are 1950s style. So I'm sitting here going,
I couldn't tell.
It looked like a pretty plain 1950s. Well, I think that's the problem. And this is the same thing I noticed when I was watching shit like the new Pet Sematary movie and some other shit that are supposed to take place in like the 1960s and shit. The women come off like modern women. Mm-hmm. It's almost all of them. Hardly any of these women can play a classical female anymore. It's something is off with them. And I think that's part of the reason people are feeding into this so much. I mean, yes, I'm not going to deny there is that scene where she supposedly leans in, but it doesn't lead anywhere. So that's what I'm saying is if it was cut, it was cut. But
yeah,
other than that, I think that's part of the problem.
That's the reason why I say queer coded rather than them being lesbians.
Maybe. And again, at the end of the day, like it could come out that Phoebe is lesbian, and I wouldn't be surprised. But
Does
also,
it really
I look
matter?
at it. Does it really matter? And also, her dad was so her grandfather, sorry, was so asexual anyway, right? And that's the way I've always looked at Phoebe. Is she's just kind of asexual.
It's
right?
not like they've changed an existing character.
Well,
if that's the way the character
is that that's like one of the things. It's like you never really got into the sexuality of like Egon and you little.
Oh yeah, he did. He was getting hit on hardcore by fucking Annie Potts in the first film, and he could give shit less.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I completely forgotten about that. But it's one of those things that, you know, you don't always have to explore a character's sexuality, right? Especially when it's a kid. And that's ultimately the thing that kind of
Well, and
bothers
that's probably
me
why
about it.
I didn't jump to it right away too,
Right.
like you guys did.
Yeah, typically.
And I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just saying I wasn't looking for it,
Well,
but I do notice it.
I wasn't looking for it either. It just fucking jumped out at my face.
I do notice it in hindsight. I will admit that, like the more I think about it, but I do want to see it again. I mean, culture could be right. It may have had something in there, like some weird embrace or kiss that was cut out, but I just don't see it, I guess.
Well,
I think that we're having a problem with people can't be friends anymore because everything is so fucking queer now.
Everything has to be sexual.
Well, and that's my issue with it. Is like, why can't you just have two people be friends? It's fine. The other thing too is that there could be a reason why they did that is because I guess amongst Gen Zers there's a lot more tendency to be gay or queer, whatever. I know
If the
queer
ghost was a boy, would we be
unfortunately,
having?
You are.
If the ghost was a boy, would we be having this discussion?
No, we
I
wouldn't.
think the answer to that is
No. I'll be honest.
Then
with you.
again, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to lie that I didn't think at first there might have been something between her and podcast. By the way, she said something to him at first too, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So again, it didn't go nowhere though. So I didn't think about it again for the rest of the film.
Right.
And as far as the relationships go, I just kind of noticed the lack all of a sudden of the lucky Finn Wolfhard, whatever the hell his character's name is in the movie, Trevor. Their relationship, because I mean they're clearly still got something going on, but it's obviously been cut completely away from the film. Like they're barely in the movie now.
Well, but didn't Six say that there were multiple Twilight references in this, including?
Well, it was because they were Robert Frost references, though. So I wonder if that's what they were.
That was Twilight coding.
Twilight coding.
Well, I mean, literally, the movie opens up with a quote from Robert Frost.
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Is it Robert Frost?
Yeah.
No,
and that's what
John
she said. And
Frost?
there's another line that Twilight used too. And I said, well, it's probably because what's her face that wrote Twilight read Robert Frost. That's why.
Okay.
I mean, that's my assumption anyway. I am not having not read fucking Twilight. So
That's what you say.
Six said that's not what she said.
I'm not going to admit to it.
We're not listening to Six things.
So I do want to say
I tried
it
to
does
listen to
light
Six.
up. And when I lit it up, comics jumped in it.
Fucking
So-
never doing a plushie ever again.
Well, that's actually you, I think.
No,
Yeah.
that's not actually me.
That's
a
not actually
plushie.
you?
That's
It's a plushie.
hi.
It's a
I'm
life-
right
it's
here.
a-
I'm not in Chicago.
It's
Tom.
a
sorry.
it's a life-size plushie, so might as well.
Well, you jumped out of the Dune popcorn vagina into this. So there you go.
Anyway, on Super Chats. Appreciate it.
Cultures, you almost do a spit take.
Cincinnati readers need to justify their existence. Yes, they do. Also, hey, Valiant Renegade. How are you, sir? It says, hail to all the dicks on
$10. Thank you,
the
sir.
On this,
Tijuana Donkey Show.
there you go.
Thank you, sir. Been a spell, thrown some love and admiration. Culture not helping the Santa jokes with that red shirt.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it is. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for another $2 says, watch how media plays it and anything to own the right. Yeah. Darius for $5, 70s. Was it Running with Scissors or Two Girls, One Subaru?
Interesting that I do own a Subaru. But
What's
the
this?
rest, as for
I
the rest
knew
of
it.
that,
How about you, buddy?
I can't confirm the rest of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you own a Subaru, flannel shirts, and a pair of Timberland boots.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Mhm.
Does anybody know what a
Yes,
pigtail wig
But
costs?
the boots are not mine.
Indeed.
I need like a
Six for
Pippi
$2.
The
Does
boots.
Culture Pigtail stream in 2 weeks? Is that
That's
true,
true.
Culture?
That's true. Six is planning it, so
Wow, fucking finally, dude.
we're doing it.
Way to-
Hey, it's not
way to
my fault.
dodge it.
She's no. She's been in charge of this the whole time.
Indeed. Thirsty Flavors of Nick Weiser. What's up, Nick? For $2 says, huge reach around.
There's got to be a gap in the gigs. It must be a break between gigs because he's at some big metal festival.
Oh, okay.
Although it could be finished by now for the night.
Oh, okay.
It's down in Houston.
It's only 10:15. I doubt they're done.
Yep.
Yeah, most metalheads end at 10 o'clock these days.
Yeah, especially when you get old. Any parting words on the movie?
I mean, yeah, there was more on the spoiler stuff that I think we didn't even start talking about.
Yeah, but we're like an hour and 15 in.
Okay.
Yeah, I still want to talk about X-Men.
Just
And
real quick.
Kotaku.
Go ahead.
The whole bad guy in the movie, I don't get it. They made it out to be a gigantic threat that he can literally scare you to death and stop your heart, and then they do nothing with that.
They did nothing with it.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's something I felt
nothing
like
about
got-
the bad guy that is anything to do with the story.
That stuff's more in the trailers, even, honestly. I think they got cut out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they made it up. I mean, they have the opening scene where they show him freeze a whole room of adventurers. Well, not show it, but they show the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
And then when they're fighting him, all he does is kind of freeze some proton beams, and that's the major
really-
threat that he presents. It didn't
It
make
got
any
pushed
sense to
really
me.
to the
The
third act of
scenes
the
that
film.
they
hardcore.
That's where I
left-
felt like it got cut up a lot.
Yeah, the scenes that got left in the film, I'd say about 30% of them don't make sense. There should have been other scenes that they cut that should have replaced them. That I liked the story in the background of the bad guy, and
Yeah, that was good.
and the guy's grandmother being and all of that stuff, and that all made sense. And here's this super bad guy that's going to destroy the world, is in some one bedroom apartment in Queens.
Yeah,
that she's got in this silent room.
Well, Gozer was in a fucking refrigerator.
Exactly. But I mean, but that was a refrigerator on the Upper West
It
Side.
was
That's
wider
different.
on the inside, though.
Yeah, that's totally different.
It was bigger on the inside.
And that was really cool. Okay. Not a big fan of Patton Oswalt these days.
No.
But having that real library underneath with all that was also
That was
really
pretty
cool.
I also like the way he narrated it, and they showed basically on the stone tablets. I thought it was
Yes.
pretty neat. I
This
mean,
animated
there's a lot
story.
of things that they did that were pretty cool.
And they could have expanded that. And I'm wondering if Tom's point is right. Patton Oswalt may have had a lot of that background scene stuff in there, and he tested so badly they cut him.
I think
Well,
so.
I think they needed to test more because they didn't need him.
Well, and I think this was half baked. That's the problem. I don't think they took long enough to write this. I think it needed another draft.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I said, it feels like a movie they were making more in the edit, unlike Afterlife, which felt like a very honed script.
Yes.
Because even the stuff that some people griped about Afterlife in the reviews, I've rewatched it. Like some people are like, "Oh, the Ghostbusters just seem to show up for no good reason at the end." I'm like, not really. If you actually watch the film again, there's so much shit going on in that third act.
Column.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you watch the way the movie actually goes, they show up within X amount of hours. Like basically, the moment Dan Aykroyd realized he was hung up on, he went and got the other guys.
Yeah,
and they went to the farm. They knew exactly where they were and all that shit. So like that makes more sense now if you think about it and certain things like that. And Muncher at first like bothered me too because he felt like obligatory. And it's like, okay, no, he's been in this place all this time because this is where they made this stuff that attracted the ghosts in the first place. Because if you think about the first film, that was the whole reason they were making it out of that weird metal. Because Ray's like, no, they never did this. Either the guy was a fucking genius or a certified wacko because of the metal that he used. So like, that's why Muncher was there all this time. So that made sense why there was a ghost there. So like, otherwise the rest of the town was unhaunted, right? Other than Ivo Shandor's mind. So I was like, the first viewing, I was like, wait a minute, that just seemed a little obligatory. And then as I've watched it again and again and again, I've understood a little bit better. That's why it feels like a much tighter, more well-written script, where this felt like it was a much more bloated script. They shot a bunch of shit. They tested like 2 or 3 different versions of the movie. They kept in what tested the best. And unfortunately, what we got out of it was a bit of a hodgepodge. And it pays a lot of homage to part 2. And unfortunately, it falls into a lot of the same problems that part 2
I was thinking the same thing. Is it I mean, I still enjoyed part 2. I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously, the original Ghostbusters was way better. Um, this one it just didn't have that magic that I felt the other movies had. Afterlife, was we saw the whole thing with it was very heartfelt, and I agree with that. I think that, and initially when they did the casting announcement for it, and hearing it's gonna be kids, I'm like, oh god. Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I thought Girl Egon in the first movie was great. I thought it was a great.
Yeah, she was very good in that film.
Yeah,
the way that they used her with the chair and all that stuff, and having the.
It was very heartfelt, and I thought she was a great character. This time around, she kind of annoyed the shit out of me. More so,
I was
than
okay
anything
with her.
else.
I was okay with this. I'm going to close out the poll.
Yeah,
I'm going to close out the poll. So the poll was.
Stop playing with the poll.
The poll was obviously written by Tox.
Yeah. Do you plan on seeing Ghost Empire, Frozen Empire? Yes, because I suck at this. So 23% yes, 46% no, 31% maybe.
So it's only missing the all of the above option.
All of the above option.
I just got to say, it's kind of weird that it almost shares like a Jurassic Park kind of title, because it almost feels like the little tease that is set up for the next film is Jurassic Park-ish. Like we almost might get Ghost World Empire or something or other, because basically, like, here's the last spoiler I'll get into really, other than the first or second best scene in the whole film is one of Bill Murray's bits. So I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it actually made me not mind Nana Jami Nami Nami so much in this movie.
He wasn't as
obnoxious as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
And the Bill Murray scene is the best scene with him.
Yeah.
Because it's a callback to the first film, and if you catch it, you catch it. And I was kind of glad they didn't go for the obvious joke, because he basically is doing the same test he's doing in the first movie, but in the first movie he's doing it just to hit on somebody. Here he's actually conducting that very test, where he's testing the effect of negativity on ESP ability. And they at least didn't jump for the obvious joke where, have him say that and then the other guy come back and go, well, it's pissing me off. Because it's obviously pissing him off.
I love how he just keeps throwing pins at him.
Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? You can see behind him with the flame that was.
And that was where I was waiting for him to say that, and they didn't. So they didn't go for the obvious joke. So I think they knew the audience was with him at that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of that in here. And then, I think that the next film is going to, if they even get another film, at least what they were planning on it was, because they never addressed the fact that there's every single ghost that was in the containment unit is now running wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so they have to basically rebust all the ghosts again. Yeah.
Yeah. Winston said at the end, well, there's a whole bunch of ghosts running around. And we're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, overall, I didn't find the film offensive or anything. I just thought, as a movie, minus the stuff that we just complained about, okay, with the queer coding stuff, minus that, I found the movie just to be dead average. And quite frankly,
maybe it's because I watched crappier movies this weekend, but I did just watch the first 3 movies, and I didn't think it was average. I'd still say it's above average. Culture said the same thing.
I found it to be dead average, and I don't think it's worth $15.
Because, I mean, honestly, I was thinking it was going to be heavy duty into the environmental message, and they didn't even bother getting into that at all.
I was expecting that too, to be honest with you.
Because I just watched Aqua Turd, and within the first 20 minutes of the movie, they literally bring it up 5 times. I counted.
Did they stop?
And I just quit counting after that.
They stopped for a lecture with slides. Yeah.
That's WEF the movie, Tom. That's
it is. This, on the other hand, I was so okay, they didn't even barely bring up the fact about it, that things are frozen, and it had nothing to do with environment. Not once did anybody go, oh, so much for global warming or something, like, you know what I mean? Like a joke even.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I was fully expecting that messaging.
But see, that's where I think you're right about how the bad guy, because unfortunately it should have been a bigger part of the film. It is a part of the film, but it's through that Melody character, and we're getting left out of the other stuff, because that's where Vigo was a big part of Ghostbusters 2. Because like I said, after you see them bust the ghosts in the chamber at the courthouse, they don't bust another ghost in the rest of the movie. We don't see it. There's just a little montage, but you don't actually see them busting any ghosts. And then the rest of the movie is spent on them figuring out the Vigo shit and dealing with Janosch. Like here, at least, it's all this other stuff going on because of the ghost. but it should have been a bit lingering thing. Like there should have been this thing, like all of a sudden, like they're having this massive, and I almost would have not had such a problem with it, even though it would have been a bit environmental. Like they're trying to figure out why everything's all of a sudden cold in New York or something like that.
Yeah.
This lingering thing, like there's a reason for it. Because like when it happens, and this is what pisses me off about Patton Oswalt being there, is it's like, why is he there? And it's the one time where I felt pissed at Ray. Because I'm like, Ray should be figuring this out. He literally just PKE metered that orb, and that fucker broke a PKE meter.
Yeah.
Something we've never seen happen before. And what does he do? He literally goes off to have supper or something. We don't know, because he comes back hours later.
Bookcase, and he finally picks it up and looks at it. It's
then he finally comes back to it. It's like, dude, like you haven't seen shit like that before. No way Ray would just sit on that.
Yeah.
He would be like all over it. Like it just to me, and then him not, that was my only down part, but I love the Paul Rudd shit. I love the dad bit with him. I thought that was very well handled. And I thought, if anything, that was the more positive message in the film. And I think that's a good takeaway. There's some, if you think there's the lesbian thing in it, I guess it is. I don't know.
Well, because there's also a line where she says to Ghost Girl, it's like, did what we have was real? And she's like, well, I did beat you at chess.
It's actually, was any of it real?
Was any of it real? Yeah.
Which that can be taken a lot of different ways too, though.
It's the issue is because it's current year. If this was any other time period, I probably wouldn't have fucking noticed it, because we all know how the DEI shit creeps in. Okay.
And that's the classic line that you use with a honey trap line in a movie.
Exactly.
When somebody's sent as a spy to betray the person, but they have to seduce them first, and then they come back and say, was any of it real? It's the exact line they use for that constantly in movies.
Right. Yes. All right.
So that's what caught my attention on it. Yeah.
Agreed. Ben for $10 says, Roth thought it was fine, but without Harold Ramis writing and more Bill Murray in the movie, it will never live up to the first two. Agreed.
No, I mean, it's going away from being a comedy to being a family movie. I mean, a kid-friendly family movie.
And Ivan Wright's gone. You know.
Ivan. But Jason's involved, and I think he kind of gets the vision too. But yeah, like I said, it was. Like
there was a lot of fan service in this film, and for everything that they've heard us and others complain about, I didn't see. You know what? I saw a movie where they tried.
Yes.
And didn't quite make it.
I agree.
They got close.
I 100% agree with that. Like I said, it's not a movie I hate. You know, but at the same time, it's just like it's nothing special as well. And for me, the original Ghostbusters is a very special movie. It's lightning in a bottle, and it's always hard to recapture those moments, which is kind of disappointment with 2. Even though, like I said, I enjoyed 2 very much. It didn't have the same magic as the first movie. It's like with Afterlife. I immensely enjoyed that movie. It was very heartfelt. And for me, this second movie just doesn't match up to that first one.
Yeah. This movie felt very much like watching Super Mario to me. It was obviously a movie made geared more towards younger people, but it had all the, all the different Easter eggs that are made for us, as we've said, kind of like Mario did. And I was more interested in the Easter eggs in Mario than I was in the actual story. So, kind of the same here.
Yep. And I agree with what John says here. He says that Ghostbusters was a period piece. It was, it is the 80s. You can't recapture, sorry, jumped on it. You can't recapture that. Don't try, just move on.
Well, this movie's also a period piece, just a different kind of period.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad,
mic drop. It walks away. Okay, guys. Let's
poster.
Thanks, Tox.
Thank you, Tox.
Tox is dead.
Indeed. Okay, let's talk about X-Men 97. I don't know who's
With
seen
that,
it.
I'm going to X out.
Okay.
Because I have not seen it. And,
all right. Let's get Tom to the forefront here, and you can do your outro, sir.
You gonna punch me out?
Well, you can say where people can find you, and then we'll punch you out.
Find me at Midnight's Edge After Dark, and Brahms right. The 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie is the better Mario Brothers movie. So.
It's a me. It's a Mario. Well, Tom, we're punching you out, buddy.
Night, Tom.
Punch it. He didn't see the gay coding.
Or he did. He saw it. He saw it. The gay coding. That's why he's out.
Yep.
He caught it. Damn it.
I'll be honest with you. I want Tom to be right. I want it to be just seeing stuff. But I don't.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't seen X-Men.
he's not
I'm
wrong, or
going to
he is
stick
wrong?
around. I'll stick around.
I'm trying to be nice. He's completely wrong. Everybody. Okay, so on his own show today, we were all getting together talking about this. And I said specifically, and I'll say it again here, there are 4 other people on this panel with you. They all think you're wrong because they saw it.
Yep.
And everybody I've talked to outside of Tom has said it's there.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I did not see it until somebody mentioned it to me.
And then
it was questionable.
Wow.
But
all right.
It didn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. It just, in that part of the film, that female ghost could have been a boy ghost, right? But it wasn't. It was a female ghost. So if they had stuff in there where they kissed and did whatever, or had ghost sex or whatever, and they cut it out, fine. Well, I don't know.
I know.
I mean, they start throwing pottery at each other, and before you know, they're giggling and tickling and pillow fighting.
Well, okay,
I don't know.
I want to say
I
this.
know, Tom, you're not denying that we saw it. I know, dude. We're just.
Oh, you're right.
It's a joke. Tom knows I'm joking, but it's just a weird moment that I think we could have done without as an audience.
Yeah.
I mean, the actress playing Melody is 21 years old. So
Doesn't sound like it's a problem to me, but I haven't seen it. So
yeah, I don't really care. But what I do care about is Kotaku, which we're not going to talk about.
Oh no, we'll get to that. We'll talk about X-Men for a few, and then we'll talk about Kotaku.
I didn't see it, so I'm going to go take a nap.
Okay, well then we'll talk about fucking Kotaku then, dude. I thought everybody here watched X-Men.
I'm teasing. Come on, calm down, boss man.
God, we don't know when you're teasing anymore, Culture. It's not funny.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's the
not
beard.
funny.
It's because
man.
Culture's tired and he needs a nap.
I am tired.
Teasing implies having a sense of humor.
I'm old.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
What is he teasing?
Okay, all right. So we'll talk about Kotaku burning down. One of the things that I walked out of the theater and I saw Gary's tweet about the Access Media burning down, and it's basically Glorious watching it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I see Mark Kern's comments about Kotaku. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Kotaku? So apparently, just a mere, is it a week, 2 weeks at this point after
not even.
Alyssa dropped her article. They were like, we're going to pivot to doing game walkthroughs, game guides. Yeah. Wow.
God, they're just.
Yeah, those are useful nowadays.
Yes.
Well, the conspiracy theory is that the reason why they're switching to 50 game guides a week is to either A, have the people that are there quit so they don't have to worry about paying them severance, or B, fire them if they don't do what they are supposed to do. It's funny because we've been complaining about games journalism forever, better part of a decade, right? Games journalists, they don't fucking review games. They complain about games are being too hard. Your job is to fucking play video games, dude.
I know.
What a fucking amazing job to have.
Imagine quitting because you're forced to play them. That would be something.
But they're not actually, they don't give a shit about games. You know, it's fucking low tier, awful journalism.
Yeah.
What you really get is hit pieces on gamers, like what we saw with Alyssa talking about the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff. And now we've gotten to the point where they're basically Kotaku, the most woke game journalist outlet out there, journalist in name only, is now being forced to write game guides.
That's right.
And it's glorious.
That also means they have to play more than just the tutorial.
Yeah.
To make a whole decision about a game.
Yeah. Well, and it also means they have to get past the tutorial.
Yeah. That's going to be the hard part for them.
So what ended up happening is that the editor-in-chief of Kotaku, who's only been there since October of last year, quit.
5 months.
5 months, yeah. It is fucking funny. Let me go find the tweets from Grums because it's
Oh, dude,
all
he's
fucking
dude, and
priceless, man.
he's laying it out. He's dropping more dimes on other companies that are doing stuff right now. Mark is working hard.
He is massively killing it.
Yeah,
doing a fantastic job covering the shit that's going on in the gaming industry.
I'm just assuming these game guides are not really going to be game guides, but it's more how to interpret the game in a progressive way.
Dude, right now, okay, so I'm going through. I'm right now. I am scrolling through Kotaku's, whatever it's called, Kotaku's feed.
What? Katie's Taco? What?
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah,
He's feeding on Katie's
Taco's feed,
Oh.
and they have scrubbed almost everything, but like this game.
Desperate attempt to get gamers to come back to them, which will never happen.
Yeah, they've pissed off everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what you do. They've been doing this shit for the last 10 years. They've been shitting on gamers, shitting on the gaming industry. And yeah, I mean, they're a fucking joke. Nobody likes Kotaku. And yeah, so we get this. So here is a quick rundown on Kotaku. It says, Jen Glennon, the editor-in-chief, tweets she resigned. Mad Kotaku writers spill beans. They must dump news and write gaming guides. Former Kotaku head Nathan Grayson, also the guy that slept with Zoe Quinn, tells us 7 writers left, must churn out 50 guides per week.
Oh,
is there that many games per week?
Well, no, I mean, they can go back and do other games. They could do like chapter 1, this is how you do this in The Sims.
Yeah.
This is how you do this in The Sims.
Well, they can go back and cover all the games they didn't talk about because they haven't been talking about games for a long time.
Yes, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Extremely proud of Jen for taking this ethical stance in response to profound, misguided anti-journalism. Seriously,
Jesus.
Kotaku literally is anti-journalism. Anti-journalism edicts from Geo Media Management. So anyway, she tweets out some personal news. I've resigned from Kotaku, and Jim Spanfeller is an herb. I apparently that was an article that was written back in 2019. I didn't know what the reference was, so I have no idea. It's all kind of funny. So we have this individual here. Says, you know what? Fuck it. Here's a small cup of tea. Management doesn't even care about the quality of the guides. They want us to aggregate them from other sites like Literal Content Mill that they're destroying people's lives. Gag me, not in a good way. Yeah. Last thing I'll say is this. Someone at the top told us to just get guides done because of the AV Club watches full seasons of a show and still produces their stories. That alone is proof that they don't understand what we do.
Or maybe they do understand what you do.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe they do understand. And that's the reason why.
Or don't do, or what you don't do. Yeah.
According to a source close to the situation, Kotaku staff will be expected to create 50 guides a week at the site. Currently, Kotaku's homepage features a prominent games tip and guides module at the top of the page. In a space that was previously reserved for major stories breaking news, staff members have criticized the homepage redesign on social media, noting that Kotaku's major source of traffic is not guides.
It's clickbait.
It's clickbait.
It's true. Both people that read it
is what it fucking is.
Most people that read it are not looking for guides. That's true.
Yep.
Most people that go to Kotaku are, accidentally tricked to going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The only time I go to Kotaku is to make fun of one of their articles. That's it.
Yeah, I am now going through their news feed on their website, and somehow, I don't see any Sweet Baby coverage on their page.
Did Alyssa's article get delisted?
I don't know. I'm going to look now. Let me go through Google.
She had some spicy things to say too, which I thought was kind of funny.
Kotaku.
I think that this is it. Yes, this is. Let me share this. This is a lot of fun.
March 6, 2024. So this is a feature article by Mercante. You can still search for it and find it.
This is not on their homepage
I
anymore.
couldn't find it. I'm going to keep going. So this is a feature article. It falls. Where's their tags?
Yeah. Kotaku head reporter Alyssa Marcarte, who lied lied in her piece about Brutus Rambo and gamers, is salty. She has to play games now. Ash Parrish, former Kotaku head, offers support for great ordeal of games for gaming for a living. You love to see it. Okay, so we have this. How they're trying to cope with the reality is just pure gold. So we have this right here from Alyssa. It says facts. The fact that excuse me, let me start over because I'm retarded. The fact that leadership wanted to aggressively pivot what Kotaku does in the midst of a harassment campaign by Sweet Baby Inc., not against it, levied against me. You're just dumb. You said something dumb on the internet. People mocked you. That's not harassment. That's just the internet.
Okay, you have
welcome to being an adult, lady.
Well, nobody's ever contradicted them in their lives, so that's what you get.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to go looking to find this story now. And if it's getting all the traffic that she says it is, I mean, you have to go down deep in their culture section to find it.
That's funny.
You have to go deep down into culture to find it?
That's not what a culture section.
We have to go deep down into your midsection?
Oh, I give up.
All right. In the midst of a harassment campaign levied against me and the site for an original piece of reporting in quotes, by the way, that was second most read story for over a week, is telling Mama. And goes, it drove the industry-wide conversation and is still driving it. But what about, how about we get coins in Super Mario 64?
Well, it'd be more useful to get those coins.
Rev up those guides. Sorry.
It's very difficult to have sympathy for these people at all because they scream about losing their livelihoods and what a terrible blow it's been, etc. These are people that have driven other people out of their livelihoods and ruined their lives very often.
Well, and this lady, Ash Parrish, she was basically in Kabrutus's Discord, and she's like, hey, why does nobody have their real name in picture here? Please tell me what your real name in picture is so I can dox you and get you fired from your job.
Plus, millions of people lose their jobs all over the world every day. It's not great. I've been one of those people many times in the past, or a few times. You pick yourself up and you get on with it, but they act like it's the end of the world.
Losing a job
happens
blows.
to them.
No, they had a cushy job that they got to spout their nonsense.
Yeah.
So
100%. Losing a job sucks. It does.
It does, yes.
But at the same time, being a games journalist
when your job was being a dick
is a bullshit job.
Don't ask us to feel bad for your ass.
Yes.
I owe you fucking nothing, bitch.
They laugh when
that's
people
how
like
that goes.
miners
Well,
lose
at the
their
end of the
jobs.
day, this is the enemy. Okay, these people are the enemy.
Yes, you are using the word correctly.
Yeah,
they are our enemy.
Let's be honest about it. Do I feel bad that they're losing their jobs? No, I don't. I really don't.
And you are not a bad person for thinking that.
I didn't think I was.
No, but them trying to come up with that, some say, "Oh, you're a bad person. You think that all that stuff." Fuck you.
Fuck you. Let me put it this way. Okay, if they could get me fired, which they can't because I don't have a job right now, but if they could get me fired, they would, and they wouldn't give it a second thought.
They dance on your grave.
They dance on your grave. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so Ash Parrish says, it ain't great for sure, but it's there. It's now a function of finding the people you like and supporting them in their endeavors, respectively, of where they publish and support newsletters like some other crap, Dead Game and Leader Grev. Okay, whatever. This person comes back with really important to understand that people are the important part. Organizations can have histories and practices, but they only survive because of the people who support them. Good journalists will find their ways to do good journalism until it falls completely apart, of course. And well, I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing right now with Kotaku. It's falling apart. I wouldn't call it journalism.
Perhaps they could learn to code.
Yeah, perhaps they can learn to code.
Like they tell miners and auto workers and factory workers when they dance on them losing their jobs. Yeah.
Even then, guys, learning to code is not a sheer thing right now. With
No,
the
but
tech
that's
industry.
the joke, isn't it?
Well, I know. I know it's the joke. But the issue right now, because back then, when that was happening, what was it, 4 to 6 years ago? How long ago was it?
So
I mean,
losing John's comment,
it
but not
feels like
getting
forever.
code.
Yeah.
But the thing was, you could get a job, coding. Now it's a little bit more difficult. So, and that's the issue.
The funny thing about these two tweets is they have no ability to look in the mirror at all.
No,
I mean, it literally says, well, I mean, yeah, the whole reason these things work is because of people, supporting them. And it's like, okay, and the reason that it didn't work is because you have no support for what you're trying to do. That's the reason you don't exist anymore. That's why you don't have a job.
Yeah.
And then the other one, people will find supporters will find the writers that they want because, they're going to support them. Right. But they didn't, because they don't support you because you're not writing anything that anybody actually cares about.
Yeah.
Right. Did you know that you have a super chat?
Yeah, I do. I saw that. Now that I'm back
Fairly
on the
generous one.
Yeah, very, very generous one from Legalized Adulthood for $50. Says Comics Division is so tall that if he stands up with a chubby, there's a good chance the neighbor's roof will be popped off like a bottle cap on a bottle of beer. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So now we'll just allow blatant propaganda if people pay.
All right. Yeah. I've loaded up for this. I have loaded up.
That's a tall story if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, dude, I'm not giving you a hand job in Vegas.
It's not happening. You owe him one, but you're not giving it to him. I tell you that.
Because you get a lot more for $50 than a hand job.
That's true. I'm not going to Vegas because I don't want those hookers on the street to, attack me again like the last time.
Junk again?
Yeah, man.
Punch me in the junk.
They were going after him like he was a chunk of raw meat.
Yeah, they thought I was Comics Division. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like 12 inches taller than his ass. So I loaded this up specially for Legalized Adulthood's chat. So this is from the J-Laws. So here we go.
Parents, is your YouTuber having troubles reading Super Chats without messing up or missing words? Is your YouTuber boomering every donation in sight? At the Comics Division School for Kids to Read Super Chats Gooder, we have the expertise and tools to help. This 18-month course will change the life of any YouTuber struggling to read their chats and donations, with courses covering foreign currencies, common grammar words, foreign and domestic abbreviations, basic reading and enunciation. And if you sign up today, you also get these bonus foreign language courses: Spanish, German, Russian, Canadian, Kamala Harris, and for advanced students, how to speak Joe Biden. Comics Division School for Kids to Read Super Chats Gooder. The Comics Division School for Kids to Read Super Chats Gooder. Start reading I can't read this shit. I need the Comics Division School for Kids to Read Super Chats Gooder. Comics Division School for Kids to Read Super Chats Gooder. Start reading Super Chats better today.
I love it when Toph.
When Toff, he make a mistake. Penis.
I love it when Tox laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah. I think these are funny. So, sorry.
Anyway, Agmar for $4.99 says,
hey.
This is to sell Kotaku and avoid another Deadspin lawsuit scenario.
Amen.
For investigating SPI.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is very true. And for that $4.99, you get this.
I want the truth!
I can't handle the penis. There you go.
Wow. Well, that was exciting.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
true.
Sorry. I didn't see it. Sorry. It's my. Sometimes you don't see them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Eevee Mux sucks. Yeah, it does.
So now that we're done laughing at the total demolition of Kotaku, because I don't
wait,
see
we're
them
done
lasting
now?
much longer. You got more to contribute?
You have more?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say I don't expect that they'll last very much longer. I think as an entity, much like Deadspin, they are going to become, a holding IP brand for somebody else, and that's about it. I don't expect those writers to stick around.
I wonder. Sorry, go ahead, Kels. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No.
Well,
sorry,
I suppose Alyssa can go over to the Mary Sue.
She might.
Well, isn't the Mary Sue in the same boat culture?
Well, they're not the same company,
Not the
but
same company.
Mary Sue's not been doing well. I mean, the average visit time for the Mary Sue is less than 2 minutes.
I wonder
That's not
why.
good.
How can you stand it for 2 minutes? Who stays for 2 minutes on that site?
That's a good one. I like
You
that.
clicked from
That's
somewhere
good.
else and didn't realize you were going to Mary Sue.
Exactly.
Hold these electric terminals while you turn the handle on the dynamo.
I kind of want them to stick around a little bit longer, just so we can continue to make fun of them.
Well,
the
I
Mary
was-
Sue, that is.
So the average visit to the Mary Sue is 1.4 pages, clicks, unique pages from a unique viewer, a unique visitor. That's not a lot, and they do that in less than 2 minutes. I mean, that makes your robust sex life, comics sound like something substantial. But
You okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't get the joke out.
No, it's like his joke fell limp.
Yeah,
like his
about
penis.
like
his penis.
It flopped.
I want to say this about that. Anyway, regardless, nobody's going there. So these sites are making desperate grabs, and that's the clickbait turns into each and every one of those things. And you can have a clickbait thumbnail, that's perfectly fine, but you need to have some substance to whatever it is you're delivering, and they haven't done that for a long time. But they're not engaged in gaming, they're engaged in politics, and all of these people are activists, and that's all they're interested in. So yeah, she could probably find a seat at Mary Sue for as long as it exists. But she had a history. This Mercante chick had a history over at Jezebel beforehand, and other places that are not necessarily doing well.
Jezebel.
Yeah, and look, I mean, if you follow what Kern's been throwing down, he's been crushing it. If you're not following Grums, you should probably do that.
Yeah, he's been fucking massively killing it.
But what Mark's been doing is he's been exposing all of this. He literally took down an entire effort today and exposed all their woke funding.
Well, the other thing too, the irony behind it is they're talking about there's minorities play games too. It's like, no shit. The guy that created that Steam page, Cabrutus, Brazilian, by the way, not a white dude. Maybe he is. I don't know. He's Latin, regardless. But
he's Brazilian, so he's hairless, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a hairless mole. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's just really funny that they're basically going after other minorities because the Ash Pasha or whatever her fucking name is, she was talking to one of Cabrutus's moderators in the Discord, and the dude's like Brazilian and half Asian and bisexual, and she's having this conversation with him, and ultimately she ends up quoting him in her article, but it's not done in a very generous way. It's very disingenuous. And the thing I find so funny about all this is the fact that you're talking about white dudes, but the people you're going after aren't white.
Well, and again, I mean, I posted 2 links in the private chat. The bottom one is one that's interesting because right now the Game Developer Conference is going on, the GDC, which is where all these leftoids are at right now that are destroying gaming. And there's a video moment, that
you go scream.
I put the link to the screaming in the chat. It's just it's bonkers. These people are so unhinged. They aren't going to exist much longer. If Tom was here, he would call it the final re. I think we're gonna have 2 to 3 years of the final re, where they just constantly spit it out.
Okay, so here's the video that Culture is talking about here. So this is at the Game Development Conference where What is that? Maybe like
It looks like a Ren Fair for REITs.
It does,
yeah.
doesn't it?
So
Okay.
they're just randomly screaming.
We got to do this in Dallas.
That's right.
I have no idea why they're doing this.
Well, Orange Man bad.
Nah, it's not. That's not the reason.
Shout
Western game
down.
developer
mass insanity.
screaming at GDC 2024 against Gamergate. That's what it is. Patriarchy and the industry.
Jesus Christ.
So I got a question. If a bunch of
people are
retards
mad.
in the middle of a grass field scream and nobody gives a shit, do they actually make a sound?
No, but there's a whole bunch of feces left in the field.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bet the
Odds are there's
garbage
a lot of
needs to be
trash
picked
for the
up after.
janitors to go and pick up.
Yeah, the
because-
trash will be
yeah.
there all over the place. Yeah.
That they have mental illness.
They're mentally ill, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I
These
get,
people are not sane.
okay. I get the whole thing with the primal scream to go and let out frustrations and aggression. Totally fine with that. En masse when you're doing it to
There it is, James Ritter.
screaming at the
Cult. Yeah,
patriarchy
it's a
and
cult, a
Gamergate, it's just
religion.
like Jesus fucking Christ. what?
It's
Exactly.
a religion, it's a cult. Yeah.
It's a cult. I mean, there have been so many people killed in the name of cultist religion, whether
Well-
it's your ideology or an actual religion throughout history.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you, but I still think that those people were there for an Annie DeFranco concert.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, they were all looking around, going, "Is Headland here anywhere?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So those people, I'd be interested to know how many of them actually make a living out of game development, or how many are just there for the because they say. they're
I'm
game
pretty
developers.
positive all those individuals are game developers. Real quick, let me get this from Captain Spire. It says, this reminds me of Acts 7:40 through 60. It says, when the crowd held their ears and screamed because they wouldn't hear the truth.
Na, 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 na.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Culture, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say that this is a phenomenon that we will get a bunch of reporting on, because I know a couple of journalists that have full credentials for the GDC. So I think we're going to get some glorious articles in the next few days.
Imagine we probably will.
These are people aligned with normal humanity and not the wackadoodle doos that are out there doing that. It's going to be good.
Yep. All right. Besides myself, who actually watched X-Men 97. All right, Brahma.
Yep.
Nobody else? Really?
I was waiting to hear what you said about it.
I still don't trust it. There's only 2
No, I
episodes.
don't trust it either.
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely I think warning signs there. But one of the things I was messaging back and forth with one of our groups, and I was asking, or I mentioned that I actually liked X-Men 97 more than I liked Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, wait until episode 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Well, I know Culture,
We are.
and there are things in it I do find concerning. I did find the first 2 episodes to be rather decent. Of course, we all know things fall apart after the first 2 episodes. So it's one of those things that it's like I'm cautiously optimistic. There's definitely a lot of caution because there's a few things there, specifically with the second episode, where I'm like, so you have Wolverine in a tree, and he's kind of like sulking for reasons, and Morph comes up with beer and chips, and Morph is like throwing the bags of chips at him, trying to get his attention, and for whatever reason, Morph shapeshifts into Sabretooth, and then you see Logan turn around and jump out of the tree onto him, and I'm like, are they gonna have gay sex?
Cuddle fight.
Dude, you saw it too, didn't you, bro?
Yeah. Well,
It's not
with
just me.
it's hard not to see it. I mean, kind of like what Tom was talking about with Ghostbusters with
Yeah.
that stuff. It's hard not to see it in X-Men when we know that they've said that that's what they're going to be putting into it.
Yes.
Like the first line of the show is, "Leave me alone. I was born this way."
I know that was another one that
That's
yeah.
literally delivered in the first 30 seconds of the show, I think.
Yeah.
And that would be fine for X-Men, except that we know that they have said what their agenda is for this show. So automatically you're already on guard for it.
Yes. Yeah.
But some of the clips that I was seeing spread on Twitter last night, watching the episodes, I really didn't take it the way that it was being taken on Twitter, I guess. Something with Jean Grey and Storm on, sitting on the bed having a talk. Didn't bother me. I don't know what was.
Well, that definitely came off as two friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the first episode, it's been ages since I've watched the original X-Men the anime series, so I've forgotten more than I remember, honestly.
Me too.
But what I got from that first couple episodes is it does kind of feel like the original X-Men series. Because you did have the Friends of Humanity that that brought the Sentinels back very briefly. They kind of deal with the whole thing with Charles Xavier's death a little bit, and at the end of the episode, this is all in the trailer, by the way. Magneto's like, okay, I'm in charge of the school now because the last will and testament of Charles Xavier.
And there actually was a lot of action.
Yeah.
A lot of action. There was quite a few fight scenes, so that was enjoyable. It was much better than I thought Ghostbusters was. At least the first 2 episodes. They would be right up there at 7, 8, somewhere on the scale of 10.
Yeah.
They weren't too bad. But I am on guard for all the crap that they're going to be preaching at us because they said they're going to. So
the other thing too is that the guy that they have playing Morph, oh my god. Okay. Morph had a very distinct voice. He did laugh a lot. They did kind of keep that in here a little bit. But dude sounds really gay. That's not how.
I don't know. I didn't finish the original series, so the only Morph I know died at the beginning of the series. So
yeah,
I don't remember the voice all that well.
Yeah, you remember his voice. Yeah, it's just like that really kind of jumped out. I think for the most part, a lot of the voice actors they enlisted did a great job. I love Virginia Hay. She's a great voice actor. She played Femshep, and she's done a lot more than that. But one of her more notable roles is that she was the voice actor for
I've met her a few times.
Yeah. Virginia Hay's great. The guy that did that played Scott, I thought did pretty good as well. The one, honestly, I thought did the worst, and this is the original voice actress for Rogue. Oh my gosh, she sounded so old.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Southern twang to it like there used to be.
Yeah.
Gambit's voice was pretty good. Wolverine, as bad as it was in that trailer when he was delivering that one line, Wolverine's voice actually sounds pretty normal in the show.
I think so.
The trailer was ridiculous the way that line was delivered.
Yeah.
But it sounded normal the voice acting has sounded normal during the show.
Well, and they also have the original voice actress for Storm, and I mean, she sounds exactly like I remember her. Same thing with the voice actor for Wolverine. Maybe he sounds a little bit older. I really couldn't tell the difference.
A little bit more gruff, maybe. But
yeah, maybe a little bit more gruff. Gambit's a new voice actor. Jubilee's a new voice actor. I honestly I couldn't really tell the difference with some of them. Like I said, the biggest one was Rogue because she just, oh my god, it just did not sound right. New voice actor for Magneto was fine. I liked the second episode because you do kind of have this conflict within Magneto where you're kind of getting this redemption arc for the character because he was like the main baddie in the original series along with Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse and whatnot, but he was the primary antagonist, and now you kind of flip it on its head where he's now in charge of the school and he's trying to do better, but at the same time he still fucking hates humanity, and he's trying to come to grips with it. And I thought it was really well done. So
yeah, basically the whole don't make me be
the villain,
my normal self.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do better. Don't make me choose not to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, first 2 episodes were interesting. I mean, and it looks like the old show. I mean, for the most part, yeah, it sounds like the old show. I like that they had action in it.
Yeah.
I don't want an X-Men show with a whole bunch of talking and exposition. I would rather see
the
fighting and action scenes and their powers being used.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like with the scene where, they're talking on the bed, it's like, that's like one of the tropes with modern Marvel. It's just sitting around talking and eating, right? Yeah. And like that clip out of context, you're like, oh, fuck, it's this shit again.
No, but it makes sense in this context
No,
because
it
of what's
does.
going on in the episode.
Yeah.
So
The one I thought was really funny in the second episode was Jean's like, she's screaming at Wolverine, he's here, and he pops his claws. What?
Yeah.
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Where? And she's like, no,
She's
the
like,
baby.
The baby.
That was actually well executed. So
So far worth watching, you would say.
yeah, I mean, so far the first
First two
and
episodes have been
I was waiting
inoffensive
for
for the most part.
as Coulter pointed out, okay, just because the first two episodes are good doesn't mean the rest of the season is.
Well, the first two are to try to bring you in and hook you.
Yes.
Then once they think they've hooked you, that's when they start feeding you their crap.
Yes, and that's the issue. And part of my problem with the series is that if you catch the title of the last 3 episodes,
Haven't looked.
Tolerance is Extinction, Part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but you could read that in 2 different ways, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
You could
So where the
tolerate
story has
your
started and is
society to
going.
death.
Yeah. Well, and just the idea of, because of tolerance will lead to our extinction of our beliefs kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those titles do kind of concern me a bit. It just depends on how they're executed. So it
I'll
could
stick
be
with it just to review it until they do something that makes me stop watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not watching. I mean, yeah. I don't have that subscription. I'll say that.
Yep. I'm right there with you. But yeah, like I said, first 2 episodes I thought were halfway decent.
I don't know that I would go as far as what Pro had rated them last night, like a 9.5 and a 7.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it a 9. I would say probably the first episode was like an 8.
Solid
the
8.
Second one, 7.5.
7,
Which is
7.5.
still pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
still
good for what
yeah.
the crap that we've been getting, yeah.
Well, remember, okay, for me, my score 5 is dead average, okay? Which means that it's passable. There's a lot of things that I consider to be a 5. And again, it doesn't mean it's a terrible film. It just means it's a movie that's good.
Bland.
Well, I wouldn't say it's bland. It just means it's something I found enjoyable. It doesn't super stick out, right? It's like I said with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
It's a decent film. There's a lot of issues I have with it, outside the stuff we complained about. But as a story, there's stuff in it I enjoyed, I found fascinating. But the movie has problems, right? It's not something I'm probably going to go out of my way to rewatch again. And that's how I feel about most movies that are 5.
Yep.
So there you go.
But I could watch these 2
for
episodes
being
again
consistent.
and it wouldn't. Yeah. I could watch both of these episodes again and yeah, they were okay.
Yeah.
Okay to
like I
good.
said, I do think that there are some red flags in it though. And that's the stuff we got to be careful of. Because what I'm concerned about is getting my hopes up for the series and having them dashed because they just descend into stupidity, wokeness, whatever.
I don't have that problem because I'm only watching it because you told us to.
Yeah. Well, and
I have no hopes for the show.
Yeah. The other thing too, the only character that really kind of comes off as being rooted in modernity is Morph, and a lot of it is just the way the character talks.
Yeah, I'll have to pay attention to that because it didn't really stick out to me all that much.
There was like this one line that was made, and it was just like, I can't remember what he says, but it sounded more modern than it did like 97.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, it was pretty funny. There was something I saw floating around on Twitter because you have Gambit rocking like this kind of like crop top, which is like something that people wore in the 90s. And it's like, okay, people, let's get something clear. This is not gay. This stuff happened in the 90s.
Yeah, go look at any football team in the 90s. They were all wearing the short uniforms for practice with, whole stomach exposed. So
yeah,
that was a thing.
Yep. I thought that fact that somebody had to point that out was pretty funny. Hey, somebody's mentioning my favorite show right now, Shogun. Watch Shogun. No chance of wokeness since it's set in 1600s Japan. Well, you could definitely
They figured
do
out
it.
ways and other things in those
Yeah,
settings.
but that show is fucking phenomenal. Oh
Yep.
my god, I watched the was it last night? I think
Yeah,
no,
it comes
it
out on
was-
Wednesdays. Episode
it-
5.
No, the
It's
episodes come out
Mondays.
on Mondays.
Mondays.
I think I watched it Tuesday night, and oh fuck, dude! I mean, every time I watch that show, I'm like, I want to watch more, and that's the hallmark of a good show, is that when you're done watching it, you want to watch the next episode rather than dreading the next episode,
Yeah.
like with Ahsoka. Man, I fucking was not looking forward to watching that show each week.
Yeah.
I find myself very much excited for when Shogun comes out.
Yeah.
That show is just so fucking good.
It's an outstanding show, and they've done a fantastic job, and they've done very well with the source novel. Not saying the B word.
Not gonna say Fook.
They've been extremely faithful to it, and the changes they've made, the vast majority of them have been for the correct reasons in order to compress events or speed up the narrative. It's a visual narrative as well, not a novel. So that it's what we used to expect from such adaptations, that they would remain true to the source material, and they've done an excellent job, in my opinion, so far. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't watched it.
I got caught up this week because I hadn't watched any of it, but based on what you guys said, I'm now on current week and going to be watching it going forward.
I love this comment from Nova Zero. It says, Shogun is funny. I thought to myself while listening to the female translator, this woman is a localizer. Well, and okay, so I've actually been reading up a lot of stuff on the period, and it's very interesting. The time period culture, not the period, the time period of what's happening in Japan. And so, like a lot of the stuff that was happening, like with the Japanese Christians, was definitely very much a thing. And the reason why it stopped being a thing is after they kicked the Europeans out of Japan, there was a considerable effort to de-Christianize Japan, which I thought was rather interesting. Yeah. So anyway, I'm about to finish off the Icewind Dale trilogy tonight, and the next book I'm going to start is Shogun. So I'm looking forward to that.
The book is my favorite book of all time. I mean, it's a book I read every year without fail.
Yeah.
I just can't stop myself picking it up again. It's time to read Shogun again. I mean, James Clavell was brilliant, full stop, but Shogun is a masterpiece.
Were any of the guys from this show part of Black Sails? Because that's what the show has kind of felt like to me, a better done Black Sails. Which was also, it wasn't an adaptation necessarily, it was kind of a continuance of a story that has been adapted. But the major points in each episode feel a lot like Black Sails did.
Interesting.
Well, it could be said maybe they took some of their the Black Sails team took something from James Clavell. Who knows in terms of story structure? I'm not aware of there being any.
Have you guys watched Black Sails?
Yeah,
I have
watched
not.
it.
I do have the
it.
episodes. I just haven't had an opportunity to watch it.
It's
definitely
felt
on the
similar
list.
to me, only this is done better.
So the woke version is Shigun, and exactly, and that's exactly how you can
Or is
do
it
that.
Hogun?
Yeah, Hogun, Shigun. Yeah. And the thing I like about it is that it's like I said, it's really well done. It shows the flaws in both societies, which I thought was great. You know, they don't paint the Japanese as this, benevolent, enlightened, country. There is certainly that aspect to it, but at the same time, they literally fucking boil people alive in a pot. Okay.
Right. Both sides continue to call each other savages.
Yes.
Because of certain things that they see in the other civilizations. But at the same time, they both also learn to respect why they are not.
Right.
Well, that's what's interesting about Blackthorn's character is that he has the ability to learn and assimilate the Japanese culture over time, as opposed to just remaining completely separate, living in it but separate. He has something about his personality allows him to adapt to that, whereas many of the other Westerners in Japan at that time such as many of the Jesuit authorities, are
Mhm.
just living their life, but in this foreign country.
Yeah, well, it's because
He's-
they have a very
he's-
rigid belief system where
Yeah.
Blackthorn is definitely more flexible,
He's
I would say.
adaptable. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I liked is like in the first episode when she makes the comment about him having another bath. She's like, more than one bath in a week. Are you wanting me to get the shivers?
Well-
and it's just like,
and
which
that-
was very much the attitude of the Europeans
Oh,
of that
yeah.
time period.
Well, what's funny is that takes up a fair section of one of the chapters of the novel, but they actually quite amusingly compressed some of that in the show by him just going like this. When
Yeah.
everyone else leaves the room, he goes like this.
Yeah, he's like, do I stink?
And then next thing you know, he's going for a lot of baths.
Yeah.
That
It
guy
helps
playing Blackthorn desperately wants to be Tom Hardy Jr.
Oh no! You know what we think? My wife and I are saying that's Richard Burton. He sounds just like Richard Burton, especially in
he
episode
reminds
5.
me of Tom Hardy all day
he's
long.
we think he's doing a Burton impression,
Yeah.
but he's doing a great job because when I first saw the trailers and images of him, I thought, I don't know if this guy's the right guy. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he did a good job. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, Culture. That's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
I feel this meme. I feel it down in my
Do you feel it in your pants?
In your plums.
You felt
Same
it. What?
energy.
His
Plums. Plums.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Plums. Eastbound and
It's-
down.
How'd you like,
Who's it
how'd
in
you
his
like them apples?
plumes?
I'm just saying.
Ooh.
I know we're planning on talking about it Monday, but I've got 2 episodes left in 3 Body Problem. I binged it all day today.
I meant to start
And
it
actually
today
felt
got
bad
distracted.
that I had to go watch Ghostbusters and could not finish it because, like you were saying, looking forward to a new episode. 3 Body Problem's been good so far.
Right, it's good to hear because I was going to watch it today and I got distracted. Tomorrow I'm going to start.
Yeah, so if people want to watch it before Monday when we're going to talk about it, I would say it's
well, I mean,
it'll
they
be
dropped
worth
all
it.
the episodes, which is like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get this shit.
Is it
Exactly.
10? How many episodes are there?
8,
10?
I believe.
8. So it's and are they dealing with
They're
the
1
entirety?
hour long.
Is that the first novel in the trilogy?
I'm not sure how far they're going to get. I will say, without spoiling anything, episode 5 has a certain Panama Canal thing.
Okay. So they're actually going to cover more then.
So that gives you how far it is at that point.
Okay, so they make So
Without
that's very
spoiling.
short when you consider the Chinese series
Yeah.
that we watched. You and I, Brahma.
33 episodes.
Yeah, that's very short.
No, but we'll talk about it Monday. I just
Yeah.
wanted to give everybody a heads up. If you want to not be spoiled and want to, know some stuff about it, it'd be worth watching over the weekend, I think.
All right. TGV Monster for $5. There's a name I keep hearing in different streams and videos. I'm not entirely kept up. And can you explain to a normie what the heck is BlackRock? Well, the BlackRock is the largest investment firm, Culture?
Well, I mean, they control several $1 trillion.
Yeah, I mean, they control
yeah.
several $1 trillion. So they're no, I think they're
Institutional
considered an
investment.
asset management company is what they
yeah,
are.
Yeah, they like when you get your 401k, your Roth IRA, they're doing that. So
Yeah.
you have a handful of these companies, entities like
Yeah.
BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. Yeah, I mean,
so
we
they
rolled down.
for the most part they are the world's largest asset management company.
They're asked something.
Yeah, and I want to say it last checked, it was like $7.2 trillion of money that they manage. They are an investment company and they are controlled, I would say ruled, honestly, by Larry Fink.
Yes.
So in a couple of my videos, I played the clip of him basically talking about mandating and forcing change. Now,
Forcing behaviors.
forcing behaviors. And specifically this, I think the interview was 2019. And it's with him and
It was Deal Book. So
I'm
was
trying to remember who the other guy on the panel was. It was either Citibank. I want to say he's the president of Citibank or the CEO of Citibank. I can't remember off the top of my head. But specifically what they do, they are behind a lot of this ESG nonsense. Okay,
They're the money arm of social credit scoring.
yes, they are the money arm of social credit, but they're the ones that were very much pushing a lot of the ESG stuff. So I've talked about my time in tech, and I used to work for a startup, and before that startup was purchased, and that startup was receiving investment money from Bain Capital. So Bain is a venture capital company, and what they do is they go and invest in startups. And so what a lot of this, how wokeness really started creeping into a lot of these businesses, besides the fact that you have the infiltration front going on, but you also have these large investment companies that have ESG policies, and any of their subsidiaries or any of the companies that they invest in have to abide by these ESG policies. If you Google BlackRock and ESG, you'll find all their stuff on ESG. It's all out there unless they start bearing it. Because even the company that was the owner of my previous company, if you Googled them, they had a page on ESG. So a lot of this woke crap that is being pushed into modern business is coming from these investment companies because of ESG. So that's what BlackRock is. They are the world's largest asset management company, and they push a lot of this ESG stuff. It's the reason why people talk about Sweet Baby Inc. and there's speculation. There isn't any proof that I'm aware of BlackRock pushing this stuff or pushing Sweet Baby Inc. But a lot of these ESG policies are. So it's all kind of, in a weird sort of way, intertied with one another. So
well, I don't think we've seen anything specifically tying BlackRock, but we have had many people come out and say it cost a lot to develop a video game.
Yes.
We need investment money, and we know where investment money comes from. It comes from BlackRock, Vanguard, and those types of companies.
Exactly.
Especially we know that when we see the turn that the games are taking towards the message that those guys are trying to deliver.
Right. One of the things that happened recently that we saw with CD Projekt Red, when I think it was like last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, when they released their whole ESG thing. And that, again, came out of nowhere. I mean, a lot of, out of all of the AAA game companies, CD Projekt Red was the more promising one up to the whole Cyberpunk fiasco. Because they tried to release really good games. And that's another thing, too, that's happening. We have Lorian, who's like, yeah, we're not going to do any more BG3 stuff. We're not going to do any...
we're done.
Yeah, we're done with dealing with Wizards of the Coast for whatever reason. Probably because Wizards of the Coast is fucking falling apart, and all the people that they worked with at WotC are now gone. So there's that. So Larian is basically going to be done with D&D, which is unfortunate because...
Yeah, that was a story today, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done with it. I don't blame them.
No,
of course,
either.
you know, probably the only reason they leaned into the bullshit was because of WotC. WotC's falling apart.
Well,
I have a feeling.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Some of that stuff was in Original Sin 2. I mean, it wasn't super up in the forefront, but there was some stuff that was there. The good thing is, despite the fact that Larian Games does have some wokeness, above all, their storytelling is good. So it's one of those things that you note it, you move on, right? It's there, but the story is really what takes precedent, and that's the more important thing. It's like with BG3. I mean, yeah, you have the pronoun stuff. That's annoying. It's dumb. But overall, the game itself was pretty solid. Whereas what's going on with that one Bethesda game that Az ranted about was complete garbage.
Starfield.
I like what Mr. Ochi says there. Dungeons and accessibility standards.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny thing. I always see there are people like, you could believe in magic and dragons, but you can't believe an adventure in a wheelchair. Yeah, you're right. I can't. You know why? There's a spell called Remove Paralysis.
Well, yeah, amongst other things. I mean, and also the fact that no dungeons are designed as accessible. So fuck
yeah,
you.
wheelchair accessible. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah, how's that trap door going to work out for the wheelchair person? Can't check for trap doors. See ya.
How does the person in the wheelchair dodge a mace?
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
ball game.
Jump over a tripwire.
Yeah, all that shit's retarded.
Look,
All
the
right,
whole-
gentlemen.
The
Go
whole
ahead.
reason to play a fantasy game is to not be yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the bit. Yeah. That's exactly it.
It's
Yeah.
the fucking pits,
It's called
dude.
fantasy for a reason.
Just to bring it all full circle with our Ghostbusters talk tonight. I mean, that's the problem that we're having with things right now is that the whole focus is on, all of these side things. The whole argument on Ghostbusters tonight really doesn't matter because even if that is in there, that is not her whole character.
No, it's
the
not.
problem is when they make it the whole character.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably didn't have to talk about it that much tonight. It was just something we noticed, but it is not the whole character for that character in Ghostbusters.
Well,
so it's really not that big
part
of
of the
a
thing
deal.
that bothers me is the fact that it's a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah. Because it is more of the G stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she had a line. If this was like, 300 years ago, I'd be married or already have a job and have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I never understood those arguments. Never.
Oh,
because
the fact that she's a kid or.
Right. I understand. But we we have allowed our kids to get older without growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've done. And okay,
the next line.
I was out of the house at 19.
Yeah.
My dad was out of the house at 18.
16 for me, buddy.
Yeah. And when you go back a little bit, 16, 17, dad was out of the house at 18 because he enlisted in the army. He had to be 18 for that. Right. But he worked before that.
And the reason why people had to grow up
George
early was because of the circumstances of the world, right? You kind of have to. People didn't live as long, so at the age 13 or 14, you literally were an adult, because maybe you lived to 30, 50 if you're lucky, right? Where now it's our standards of living are vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that didn't happen overnight.
No, it didn't.
Right.
It didn't
So
happen
I'm
overnight.
talking about 50 years ago when the lifespan was in the mid 60s.
Right.
Okay. That was still a thing. People getting married at that age.
Yeah.
And I come from a state where the age of consent is 13.
Yep. Well, I mean, I study
just don't
anthropology,
see a
dude.
problem.
I mean, there's plenty of cultures where you have 12-year-old girls marrying 80-year-old men. I mean, that's a thing. But that it's not our society, and our views on such things are vastly different, and they literally are different from culture to culture. You take a look at the same thing with Japan. I mean, their age of consent is vastly different than the way we view it in the West. So, I mean, that's just that's just how it is.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. All right, let's get to memes. Let's get out of here. Oh wait, hang on. Before we do that, Jaffo for $4.99 says BlackRock is vulgar. You invest your money for retirement, which is then used by BlackRock to tell you how to live your life. Yeah.
Yes.
That
is the evil of the banks
yes.
and investment systems and stuff.
And hello, George.
Yes. Hello, George. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well, man. All right, let's get to memes.
Hi, George.
Or are we just okay? Now it's going.
Penis. Gagging you with entertainment. Oh my God. Oh my God. The God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The God. It's so big. It's so hard now. It's so hard now. Oh my God. The God.
Oh my God, the cock.
And there we go. So the first one is from core member, Ghostbusters Frozen Dicks. So I believe that is anti-culture refaced over here. Not looking too bad there, comics. I think Paul Rudd is shorter than you. Tom has changed genders. And there's
Yep.
Nick Weiser. Tall and skinny. The big knife, it looks like.
Yep. So there you go.
Look at that.
I have to admit, those jackets are kind of cool.
They are. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I like that.
There was good stuff in the film. Oh, no. No.
Is that mere culture?
That's culture. As the Weevilite, according to Robbie.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Robbie. I love you too. And I'm
well,
praying
no,
for-
Monkey Jeebus is the one that did this. No, but
Cool.
Robbie's the
Monkey
Weevilite.
Jeebus loves-
Monkey Jeebus gets me good too.
and,
So
and he loves me. And look at that T-shirt I'm wearing. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
You remember the South Park with the Native American tampons?
Oh my
Commercial.
God.
no.
There we go. The weave tampon.
Fuck
The
you.
Indian hair
Weave ponds.
tampons.
Yeah, Indian hair.
Yeah.
You're
Well, that's a joke from many things,
Many, many,
including
many.
South.
So this is scary in many ways. This really bothers me. I get that. So this is a 1995, 2024. Okay, I get it.
Well,
Cultural
comics
shows.
grew up nice.
I guess.
Comics, if comics was a girl, it'd have big tits.
And I'd be stuck with 80s hair in 2024.
Mhm.
But at least I would have
At
hair.
least you'd
hair.
have
I was
hair,
going to say,
yeah.
at least you have. Yeah, at least you have. All right, let's see what he's got. The next one. Here we go. I think that's a little. Is that Tears for Fears? Or is that? Yeah.
I think that's Tears
is.
for Queers.
No, it's Tears for Fears. Shout.
Yeah.
Shout.
Let it all out.
Let it all
Comics
out.
looks just as crazy then as he does now.
These are the things I can
Indeed.
do with.
And strangely, culture here looks like James May from.
talking
Gear.
to you. Come on.
This one's kind of scary. Yeah.
Wow.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
So this is a comparison thing that they have on some of these. So it's 1994. This is from
You look fierce, comics.
the movie
Yeah, I definitely look better than you.
Flintstones. And then this is
Okay, that wasn't kind.
30 years later. Well, and she's going to be in her 60s.
Yep.
Right?
You look.
Who
you
was
look-
that? It was the
you-
chick from Big. What was her name?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to nail her back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did the chick from Big make you big?
There was a
Gave
weird.
him the chubbies.
There was a weird pants puppet.
Jaffo, that is probably the funniest freaking super chat I've seen all night. Yeah, that was good. This is Mad from Monkey Jeebus as
You know what? Mad.
some kind of gamer thing.
He's
Is that a
something.
gamer, an anime, or some
Right.
movie or something?
I don't know. It's a chick. It's probably
Is this
Kristen
Kotaku?
Stewart.
Is that what that is?
Did you guys get the extended Borderlands preview?
I have no
No?
interest in the preview.
No, I didn't see the
Yeah.
extended
Felt
Borderlands
very
preview.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now, I have to
Yes.
say,
Well, okay. There's a lot of comparison with Borderlands and Guardians of the Galaxy. Borderlands was always like that.
Okay.
Comics has that same dumb look on his face during some of our production meetings. I'm just saying.
No, just zoning out is what it is.
Okay, so
is
Yes,
that what it is?
Matthew. It was Elizabeth Perkins. She perks me up.
okay. There are certain people that I follow that I think are great, but they're posting like maniacs right now, and my notifications are bananas.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, if James Gunn were Alec Baldwin, that's what culture would become.
This is true.
Alec Baldwin being played by James Gunn.
The guy who makes
On-set
inappropriate jokes
accents and
then
how to
shoots
avoid
people.
them by Alec Baldwin. Yeah. What did you say? Did I overstep? What did I do?
See,
Is
this
that
is
a
the
guy who
look
makes
I would.
inappropriate jokes and then shoots people?
That's right.
Exactly.
I still think I retweeted a thing.
I aspire to this look. I mean, I wish
You
I
do.
could. Wish I could look like that.
Mhm.
I would if
You
I
look
could.
like
In a heartbeat, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Which DBZ character is he supposed to be?
Brahma looks like he belongs on the set of Furioso.
He belongs to the.
I mean, because
That's
are
not me.
these
That's
real?
70s.
Well, there's
Is
this
that Yamcha?
That's 70s.
No, this.
Well, no.
this-
Okay, we're being refaced on the characters from DBZ.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Pretty positive. I'm pretty sure they've
It's got
refaced me on
DBZ
Krillin.
hair.
Yeah, that's one of the characters.
No, I
Vegeta?
know.
could be Vegeta.
It's Goku's brother.
It's actually WBR, Wax Ball Rolling. So
what's the next one in the list? That's Vegeta.
Okay.
Yes, that is definitely a vagina.
Well, chat is saying Raditz. For the last one.
Raditz. Thank you. Raditz. Raditz. That's the character.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to cosplay that.
I see nipples. Oh, so nipples.
So I'm going to say here, Tom looks, I can spell it right, like he has a vagina.
Well,
he does. A hairy one, too. This screams weed whacker. That is what that screams.
I think it screams I don't shave, but that's something else.
Well, there's this, Turtle Man.
Master Yoshi.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Master Yoshi?
That's you, isn't it?
No.
We're wearing a turtle.
I thought that was Tom.
Yeah, that is not my facial structure.
That is
Got to
you.
be Tom.
It looks like you to me.
That's not
That
my.
is.
That's not my facial structure.
Okay.
Okay.
No, sorry, not Master Roshi. Master Roshi. That's who that is.
It's Master Rochambeau.
Yes.
It's still not my facial structure.
Okay. You just go right ahead. This makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Fuck you.
What?
This makes
perfect
sense.
Yeah. Look at all those veins.
That's what you get for drinking the bull's milk.
So this is Brahma doing impersonation of Comics' dick after Comic learns how to do 500 dick ups in an hour. Just all the veins and
I
everything.
don't even know what the
popping out.
fuck he said.
Yeah, what's a
I
dick
believe Brahma is Nappa.
Okay. Yeah,
You know,
Well,
a dick
it's usually
push-up.
napping.
Well, how many dick push-ups can you do? Well, you'd only need the one, right?
Exactly. Can you drive a nail through a board with your penis?
Oh, are you really trying to do Real Genius?
Yes.
I love Real Genius.
I think that is Corey as Bulma.
Bulma.
Mm-hmm. Corey is vulva.
He's got quite a large neck.
This, I think, was the best one.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I hate Nick.
Nick is Goku.
That's a good look for
It
him.
is. It works for him.
Huge coup. Huge. Go huge.
And
I don't know. Never
like-
watched it.
At a certain point, you realize that in order to get the kind of muscle definition, you are completely dehydrated and probably all about to die.
Yes. Having known several bodybuilders that have competed, they always talk about how at your strongest, you're at your weakest.
Yeah, it's amazing who you meet at your Greek baths.
Okay.
They were playing gladiators at the time, making a movie.
They're Turkish baths, Talks.
Oh,
Turkish.
Turkish baths?
Yeah, only
the
men.
Greeks did the same thing.
Oh yeah, but only
gay
men.
sex
In
in the Greeks.
only men in the Turkish baths.
That's why
for
George is not
context-
that kind of Greek. Right?
For context on this this meme, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man has his arm in a pencil sharpener, and he's sitting there smiling while his arm is getting sharpened by one of the other ones.
Yeah, it's
it was
really
funny.
Oh, and the funny thing is that there's actually spoilers, folks. A cut scene. There's a behind the scenes, not behind the scenes. God damn it! When the post credit scene, a mid credit scene, where the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow babies go and hijack a Stay Puft truck. It's pretty funny.
And
It's
one of
pretty
them
damn funny.
grabs a cigarette lighter from the truck and is just burning its face off and smiling.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The Stay Puft, I mean, they're goofy, kind of like George Lucas type creations, but yeah, they were kind of funny in this.
Yeah, I mean, they're like midi-chlorians.
I will tell you right now, I did not stay for the post bologna sausage.
It didn't do any. It was just an extra scene. It wasn't setting
fucking-
anything up
yeah.
or doing anything. It was just for
funny.
fun. It was
It's
just
a
these
goofy
goofy
scene.
little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men.
Is it already 11? Okay. All right. Next up, this is from E. Clay Thompson.
That's actually this
Giuseppe Cassino,
We're
circa
work-
1882.
Yeah, we're working on this project right now. It's my Pinocchio.
Does your
Wow.
cock get
I was
longer
gonna say
with,
it's
with every lie? Does your cock get longer?
I'm telling you
For,
right now.
that's the first time I've been on Twitter where it said you may not want to see these things, and it was actually a bot. Most of the time, it's like somebody saying gay or something.
I'm just
what were you
telling
saying?
Giuseppe
Th-
Cassino.
This look, I'm telling you right now, this is my version of Pinocchio.
His cock gets bigger every time he lies.
I'm just working on
your
it.
cock.
It looks like it's already got the razor blades built into it for the the
It,
fighting.
seems like what culture is wanting a real cock instead of his wooden one.
I'm still trying to figure out what is going on with the third leg on culture.
Yeah,
It's coming
exactly.
from behind, not from out front.
His cock was so big back then it needed its own shoe.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing about 3D art. Is sometimes you'll get extra appendages.
Yes,
Extra
but this
limbs.
appendage is if he was actually to be a tripod, it should have been in the front, not coming out of his back
Well,
end.
no. I mean, honestly, I'm just using it for stability, like a monkey. It's prehensile.
Prehensile.
Yeah, and look, I had to put something on it, or else it could get calluses on the end of my dick.
He has an
You don't want
extended
that.
coccyx.
Nobody wants that.
Oh, there it is. Oh my God, the
coccyx.
That's good right there.
Coccyx.
Oh my God, the coccyx.
It's coccyx man flu.
Parrothead did this one, Death by Dad Farts.
Thanks,
Your
Parrothead.
childhood ruined.
True story. That's a true story. Right there.
Childhoodruin.com.
Look at they're green. They're all about to die. Look what you've done. This is what happened to us.
Look at the smile on his face.
I see myself in this movie.
This has been like the shame culture stream. That's what I
25 cents. What? Just because I've loaded up an entire
make the
side of my
memes.
stream deck with farts, and I have one named the culture, doesn't mean that we've been going after it.
I swear to God, these are the same sound effects I use in videos.
They are.
I don't like any of you anymore.
I don't listen to all of
What
them.
did I do?
You're fine.
Here's Parrothead with the Dick's Division riding armadillos. There's Tom.
Yeah.
There's 70s.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games
Comics
until
has
it
like
rolls
a neck.
into a ball.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen flat armadillos on the road in Texas.
Yeah.
My dad, who was on the railroad, their armadillos, southern Oklahoma, northern Texas, he would go down there. He said he liked the armadillos the most because they would get on the rail and put their legs underneath and think they were safe until a 500 million ton train came over and just, yeah.
What's fascinating is that armadillos can actually give you VD.
I did
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Only if you have sex with them.
And
No.
they can also give you
Rabies.
Oh no, it's leprosy.
leprosy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can give you leprosy.
Leprosy. I'm
Don't
not
tell
half
Wuhan
the man
that.
I used to be.
I-
Little
I-
bit
you know
skinny,
what?
like half of
I
me.
feel like we need to send some armadillos to China.
Wuhan.
No.
No?
You know, my dad used to tell us jokes. Is what does a cow say just before you hit it with 800 million ton train?
Moo.
Muh.
No.
He said all kinds of stuff, including people. All right. This is from Lisa McCracken.
That's
It's
cute.
Dick's Busters. I think that's really good.
It's pretty cute.
Pretty
Yeah.
small
Should be
wand
made
you got
into-
there, comics.
Get
I
Andy
mean,
Masterson to
yeah.
make that.
or he has small hands. I'm trying to figure out which.
It's either a small wand or small hands. One
I
or
like
other.
the rectal insertion pack that he's got going on here.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
he's definitely loaded for bear on the backdoor entry.
Yeah, but is it made of brass?
It doesn't look like it.
He's riding the brass monkey.
Well, you know what, culture? I'll leave that to you because if there's anything you're an expert on, it's backdoor entry. So, thanks for pointing that out to everyone.
Well, I mean, I'm not the one wearing the gear, but all right, bro.
When he went
Culture's
out,
more of a backdoor exit man than an entry man. I'd say.
Yeah, let me tell you, sometimes Imodium,
Well, Andy's in the chat, so Andy, make
you
that
use
model.
Imodium to clear it out so you can get railed. Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean sometimes if you've eaten too many bonbons or some shit, you fucking have to blast shit out.
Culture's a great bottom. He doesn't eat that kind of shit.
All right, sorry, culture. I'll move on now.
Yeah, please. You know what? You're gonna be in the room in Vegas, so you know what?
You'll just murder me in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping.
You gotta sleep sometime.
Do
hey,
you
comics,
know
I got
Jesus?
a fucking straight razor for you, dick.
No, man, I'm gonna meet up. There's a fella in the chat that's been telling me that we have to team up on you because otherwise we're gonna get shoveled.
That sounded so bad.
That sounds really fucking bad.
Doesn't sound good. None of that sounded good.
Yeah.
It's one of those nights.
I'm bringing this other fella up to the room so that we can both take turns on
It's
you.
the roar to roar guy.
You know what? I think I'm gonna get my own room now.
So this
That's
one looks
weird.
a lot like Will Ferrell.
Thank
Just
you.
saying. So this is Do You Know Jesus with Uncle Les and Auntie Nancy Wheeler featuring
Sandy.
Randy.
I feel like
Randy.
Handy Randy.
I want to tell you, I'm very matronly here.
Yes.
You definitely have an auntie feel about
I
you.
thought the one on the left was a man. It's
It
anti
was.
culture.
Well, because you're married to it, so yes. Is that what?
I'm not that tall.
That's
This is
also true.
one hell of a cock right now.
Jesus Christ! All right.
Who's got the hand up the one in the middle though?
Yeah, Rudy's
Definitely
ass.
you, bro. Definitely you.
I thought this was good. I did receive a package from Comics Division today, and that went up. Thanks, Comics. That was nice of you.
Was it explosive?
Yes, it went up
I
like
just
that.
I feel like the ticking sound would have tipped you off.
Yeah. Well, I tried to give him hints. Yeah.
Sorry. There you go. And look, he's wearing the Beach Punk logo.
That's the most important part of this design.
Yeah, beachpunk.us, folks. Go there. We've been selling stuff steady, and we're going to have a summer line coming out. Tank tops, some of the things
And
like that.
we're actually gonna advertise. You know,
Yes,
not
we're gonna
just-
start advertising.
Not just my sorry ass trying to carry the entire brand on my show.
That's
Hey,
right.
Well, you
we
know,
are gonna.
you're doing a great job of it, man, because you're selling a lot of fucking cock tiki shit.
He
shit,
is
so-
selling cock, man.
He is slinging cock like it's
People
nobody's
love
business.
my cock designs. I'm just saying.
They love
if
your
you
cock.
if you want a custom cock design, just reach out. We will give you the right custom cock. I promise.
Ghost Rider 22 wanted a specific color that I couldn't get in a size, so we went fishing for it, and I found something, and I was able to get it out there, and he bought it, and got. So we can do special orders,
Dude. We can special order your cock. We can shuttle your cock.
You're
Culture's a great sales.
We can deliver you.
You're
cock.
pushing that cock hard.
Culture's a
Oh
great
my
salesman.
God.
He has the ability to be under every overpass in every major city in the country.
At the same time.
I will give. I will do my level best to sell all the cock I can. I'm just saying.
While you're under that overpass, you can say hello to the people from Kotaku.
I'm going to be in Vegas selling cock. Okay. I mean,
Wow. Kotaku.
We have a very special
Cockatoo.
We have a very special hat cap. That the cock cap. There's a cock cap in Vegas.
There's a cock cap.
There's several. Yeah, I mean, there's some.
I'm
good
looking
things in
forward to my Culture Casino Las Vegas meetup cap.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to
I am
getting
getting all those ordered out tomorrow and done, and
I-
we'll have a few there.
Hey,
I feel naked without it.
If you come with me to karaoke, you know you can sing with my cock.
That's true.
Yeah, just to wear my cock to sing with my cock.
So if you fart 3 times,
It's chromatic, I believe, your cock.
that's right.
Casino juice.
Casino juice.
I'm just saying.
All right.
You guys understand? I'm talking about roosters, right?
Roosters. Yeah.
Roosters.
Yeah. Sure.
Looking how you looking. Looking all beautiful and shit. You so gorgeous. Can I get a smile? Oh yeah. You lied, babe.
No,
That's
that's comics. Comics was beautiful.
This was such a sweet burn.
Dude, I loved that.
That was
And this was so good from
Well,
last time.
Fuck.
Close your eyes.
All right,
Good
fellas,
stuff.
We got
Thank
we got some
y'alls.
super chats. Want to get to real quick. I think we got this one. Yeah, $6
for
$5 says Culture. Are you going to do a review video for Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire?
Why, yes, I am. In fact, that might actually be in the hands of my very capable editor, Mr. Grant Gregory, who is asking me who's Phoebe and who's Melody. So that's a good sign for my video coming out
Okay.
tomorrow.
Jaffo for $4.99 says if Culture Casino were a girl, his name would be Monica Lewinsky.
Yes, that was quite good.
He doesn't smoke cigars with his mouth, folks.
Indeed. Jaffo for $4.99 says you need to get it's a Gundam to show up to an event and lock him in a room with Culture. Culture will become the new Dark Side Phil.
Could just hear the pounding on the door. Stu, let me out. Get me out of here.
Look, I
Listen.
feel like It's a Gundam and I will get along famously.
I think that I found a vendor that will allow me to print a single color image of Culture Casino's face on a whoopee cushion.
What?
Wow.
So that's when
I'm
sell
uncomfortable
Culture
with
Casino whoopee cushion.
I
All right,
don't-
gents.
I don't like that.
Let's get out of here.
You don't like
I'm starting
that?
with you, 70s.
Alrighty.
Look, it's Brian.
Hello.
Hey.
I have been doing a series of reviews of Shogun episodes for all 13 people who watch my videos. Well, it's not quite that bad.
That's way too many.
So check those out because I make some very
Lewd comments
some lewd
about
comments.
the books.
Books.
The boobs.
Well, I'm such a huge fan of the source material, the publication.
Oh, those are words you can say.
So check those out. Saturday night, Bourbon and Boarding, Brahma and I, the greatest hockey show in the Fellowship. That's because it is the greatest, because there's no other ones. But it's pretty damn good, even though we say so ourselves. So join us late on Saturday night for some hockey, convivial chat, and some drinks. And next Monday on my channel, I'll be doing talking about a movie, 3 p.m. Mountain Time on my channel. We're going to be talking about Colossus, the Forbin Project, 1970 science fiction classic.
The Foreskin Project?
The Foreskin Project. We're going to pull back the layers of this movie.
It's the
Peel it
Ron
back.
Jeremy story. I didn't think they'd made that already.
Yeah, that documentary grew on me.
Oh man.
So it's a very prophetic movie, if I may say so.
Oh, that's so good.
So
You don't want to
join
cover
us.
it too long. though.
And it does feature Richie Cunningham's mother as one of the actresses.
Marion.
Yeah, Marion is in it. Yes, she's the
Marion
Marion kind.
Costa.
But yeah, great movie, great science fiction movie. Not talked about it often enough, so I'm going to have a whole show in it.
Sweet.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Hello, Birdman.
What's up? I want to say thank you to everybody who was here tonight and tolerated every moment that Tom was here. I'm just gonna say that out loud. He's my hetero life mate, so I can say that. But yeah, look, just because you can't see the gay coding doesn't mean it's not there. Look, when you go to the dealership, they sell you the gay coat. I mean, the clear coat right there, so you know you're getting the gay coating. I mean, the clear coating on the car. In this film, you got the gay coating, and
Tom needs to learn how to gay code. That's the problem.
and I'm
That's
very
true, that's
I'm coding for gays.
His
Yeah,
gaydar isn't tuned to lesbians.
look. You're going to get at least 7% of humanity to pay attention to it. Maybe, well, okay, probably less. But here's the thing: straight or gay, you just want a good movie, and
Yeah.
and this was an okay film, and you should see it. And it isn't woke. I don't care what anybody says. It's not woke.
Yeah, it's not woke. Despite the fact that what we complain about, the movie's not woke. It's just mediocre.
Yeah, and on that note, Tom and I and Mexican Iron Man and a couple others are making a film. It's about selling things on the beach.
And you will see tons
That's
of
good.
coding in that.
There's tons of coding in that.
Are the three of you either delivering pizza or cleaning pools?
No. What the coding is that? Well, it's very poor coding.
I have a cart that I push along the beach on the
It's
beach
full
front.
bugs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and we sell like wonderful straw hats and
Do you
lays.
offer people blintzes or pancakes after having a smelting accident?
No.
Okay.
No,
Smoking
no.
a pancake?
Smoking a pan?
No, there's no blue waffles in our film. I'm just saying.
Thank God.
Uh,
Thank God.
Blue
Oh,
waffles,
check out
blue
my
balls.
channel, my review, because Six really wants me to tell you guys. I am doing a review on the movie, so you can check it out. It's in the hands of my editor now. I have no idea what's going to happen with it. And yeah, so that'll be up tonight, tomorrow. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good. So, you know, and it might be great. So
He has
share
lovely
it.
hands. He
I
has
tell you
nice
what,
hands.
if I would love for this review to get 10,000 views, and that is only because of you. So share it around. Hit the like button. Send a
Last
comment.
time you asked for 10,000 of anything, you didn't deliver on the pigtail stream. So
No, that was 15,000, and Six is in charge of that, and
It
it's
was
2 weeks
10.
away. She said it in the chat.
We have it
Well,
clipped.
the thing is, you said that you would wax your chest at 25,000,
I did
and you're
not say
almost
that.
there.
I
You
didn't
did
say
say
that at
that.
all. I did not say that.
You said 25,000 wax your chest,
No,
50,000
I-
wax your ass. That is what
No-
you said.
None of those are things.
Yes, you said
No,
full Brazilian at 50K.
Christ knows
fucking
what he's
did
going to
not.
wax at. What's he going to
fucking
wax at?
did not.
100,000.
You don't know
That's
how
right.
hairy I am, dickhead. There's no way I would agree to that. Fuck you.
That's right.
Hi, Brahma.
we do know.
Rip
how
the Band-Aid
hairy
at
you are.
50K. That's what rip the Band-Aid.
Yes, a completely average movie. Wait for streaming.
You're a dick.
It's true.
It's
It's not
true.
worth. It's not worth $15.
Why would you pay for that? It just wasn't worth it. And I paid for. The only reason I went was because my daughter wanted to go, and because comics made me. So
Oh my God, you had to spend time with your kids?
Yeah, I
Jesus
know, how
Christ, you
awful.
poor bastard.
I was happy to go see a movie that she wanted to see because she's on spring break, and we had a good time. But neither of us liked the movie all that much. It was just average.
That's awesome.
X-Men '97, first 2 episodes have made good. Whatever, we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
3 Body Problem. Watch it before Monday because we're going to talk about it, and it is actually very good from a book reader's perspective. I'll be interested to hear from people who aren't book readers how they feel about it. But Bourbon and Boarding tomorrow. No, Saturday. Yeah, I don't even
Eric
know what
can't
day it
read
is
books.
anymore. Saturday night, 10 p.m. Mountain. My channel or 70s channel, and yeah, got some other stuff coming up. The usual. Everybody knows. I need 2 more subs to get to 400. Apparently, asking for 3 more subs on Monday didn't work.
Well, yeah, because you lost 3.
No, I was at 397. I got 1 last night. Nobody did it on Monday night, so now I'm down to needing just 2 to get to 400.
I can't. You know what? That's a tragedy for those of you who are watching right now. And as much as I hate this man very much, like one of my best friends,
That's true.
You probably should subscribe to him because he does actually care about something.
I am actually doing stuff now. Party Animals on Tuesdays, Bourbon and Boarding on Saturdays. So
And Zalashi gave you $3.99.
thank you, sir.
Indeed.
Everybody
All
have a
right.
great night.
Thank you, sir. And look at that. It's a
Oh, my
Culture
hat.
Casino hat.
That's my hat.
So I have extended this. I will give you 2 more days before I go and put the order in for this. I've extended culture. Yes, that's right.
It was definitely a physical extension.
Yes.
I feel lengthened already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just take a couple of 2-pound weights, hanging them off his balls, and before you know it, he's tripping over those.
2
suckers.
pound, 15 pounds.
All right, whatever. That is the Culture Casino 2024 Las Vegas. Pre-order cap 49. Or
It better be waiting for me, Talks, because I'll feel
or easy
naked
payments
without
12
it.
for 6. I know. I'm going to
beautiful-
send it. I'm. All of this is either going to go to the people who may or may not be there. If you're going to be in Vegas, I'll be sending it to Culture Casino's house.
That's true,
And-
actually. Yeah, because
yes, and
I
they
will be
drop
there.
stuff there.
I'm going to be there with the entire portable studio box, which means there's going to be 4 cameras and a
I've got to
freaking
send you
audio
the
board.
point of sale stuff, don't I? I
Sure.
got a lot of that figured out. So,
All right. Okay. Good.
and then we will retire this, and if we go next year, we'll do a different
A
design.
new one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a new one. And also, we've got the comics division meetup hat for Las Vegas as well. Gray on black with the black. This is black on black on
Now,
black.
wait a minute. That's the leather patch.
That's the leather patch.
That's
So these are leather patch stuff.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the high quality one that Eric July
This is
wears.
all the high quality stuff. Right, Eric July wore your hat
He
on
did.
Midnight Edge. And he's
He
been
did.
wearing the comics division one as well. But that's the flex fit hat. We do have those too.
Yep.
I've got the flex fit hats and stuff.
And I prefer the flex fits, really, because they fit better.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to flex fit in any of these, just let me know. I'll order those too. You know, put it in the comments or send me a go up here to FIQ, contactcd.com. that'll get to me, and I'll take care of it from there. But you can also get the mug. We've got set up for Culture Casino.
Oh.
There and yeah.
Oh, dude, the stickers. The stickers are tight.
Stickers are good. Membership sticker packs for Culture Casino. I have made a lot of those. And those are going to be out soon. Culture and I will be working on how we get all that kind of figured out.
To everybody, yeah.
For comics divisions, I did a post in the member community tab to the members that member levels that would have. Boy, I really fucked that up, didn't I? There's a post in community tab that I list everybody that's been with Comics Division on YouTube for 12 months or more. Those people are due a sticker pack. So go sign up at comicsdivision.com, and there is a form that you can fill out. It tells me who you are, what your level and stuff is, and I can get those things out to you. I will be getting PO boxes and everything set up tomorrow. And those things are going to start going out then.
And Zalashi, I'm working on some socks for you, bud.
And thank you for getting me to 400.
You want cock socks?
Yeah. Oh, they do. They want cock socks. And
Okay.
they also want to know what we do with stickers. At least 6 does. And I put them on.
Sticker.
Yeah.
Sticker.
Yeah.
Sticker.
Yeah. I put like on the studio box, my traveling studio box that I take with me when I travel. That's covered in stickers.
There's magnets.
Yeah, and there's magnets. You can put them on your fridge, and they can hold things on your fridge.
Put them on a large water bottle.
You can do that too.
That's what the kids are doing nowadays.
Like a water bottle like this, you can put a sticker on it.
Oh god damn it! I'm muted. Jesus Christ! Nobody can hear me.
We didn't care. We didn't miss anything.
I thought you didn't care. Corbin Dallas is celebrating 2 months as a member and says, "Baba Booey, Howard's penis, Baba Booey."
Hey, you actually didn't do that right.
Fucking, you do it, Culture.
Corbin Dallas. Okay. No.
Corbin Dallas.
There you go.
Yeah, I realized I updated the credits.
Cock.
I realized I updated the credits today and I didn't upload it into.
I accidentally hit that button.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Does Howard Stern suck or what?
Yes, he sucks.
Oh, God.
You can catch me tomorrow night on Friday Night Tights and.
Hey, are you going to promote anything over there?
I'll think about it.
Fuck you.
Here's some
You
credits.
are so gay.
I'm trying to get to 25K.
So
You can't throw
He's not
throw me
gonna promote you.
Fuck.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share,
He may
and comment,
promote
and
us.
subscribe if you're new to the channel. A huge thanks to all the supporters. Without you, Comics Division would probably be hoeing on a corner somewhere.
Melanie Mack tomorrow.
Yes, Melanie Mack tomorrow.
You know, I have like 28 months worth of Gandalf level, so he owes me 28 channel shoutouts.
He does.
Yeah.
Have him shout me out for 28.
So that's what I'll do. I'm going to email Melissa and Gary and say, hey, I've been doing this for a while. Can you just mention Culture Casino's channel 28 times on a Friday Night Tights to see what happens?
Yeah, but see, what you really need to do is mention Comics Division's channel 28, because I want comics to be huge.
It's whoever mentions it last, because he just
said
said he would do it for you, but he said he would do it for Corey, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So whoever mentions it last before he actually follows through with it is who's going to get the 28 mentions.
I still think you should do it for comics, because I mean, somebody say do what Nick does, because that'll be huge. I can't do it.
But comics is on the show
next week.
Yeah, I'm on the show, man.
Corey should be back next week.
Good. All right, then do it for me, because fuck comics, though.
No. No.
You guys were really weird when we were in Dallas.
Why were we?
Thank you all for watching.
You were just
You are
That was the
amazing.
poisoning.
It was the lack of oxygen.
No, it was like the flirtive glances
It's
and
mustard gas.
the grasping each other's arms. And
I have to say, the only reason I'm going to Dallas is to go back to that breakfast place.
that
That's
subtle
it.
tickling
That's the only reason I'm
on
going
each other's
Good night.
backs.
Good night.
Good
folks.
night.
It's like if you
Hey,
had
good night.
nails.
Jesus
night.
Dalvia.
The Vila?
Comics, what are you willing to do at 20K subs? I can make it happen.
I already ended the stream, dude.
And that's 6 anyway, not Jesus.